realise is we have all been fucking deceived. Every last one of us.
No, when you speak on this topic, you're deceiving yourself and others who take your fucking shit seriously. Mill's going, yeah, tell him. Mill, he's wrong.
What? Tell me then, a rotating fucking object does not create centrifugal force, or if it does, it's selective in what it fucking affects.
Okay, tell me this.
Now,
Does the oceans that you claim bulge, do they have a weight? Do they have a mass to them? Do they have a mass to the ocean? Is there a mass?
Yes.
How much does water weigh?
It's
going to take a long time. It's a yes or no question, man.
Is there mass to the oceans?
Yes or no? Quickly. How long does this fucking take?
Why does it bulge up at 23 kilometers then?
You've got it, 3 seconds to answer these questions or else you get a big fat X.
Brian, just give him a yes.
He knows it. I'm not fucking ludicrous me answering it. He knows fucking water's got a mass.
Right, so the mass then has weight, yes?
2, 3.
Yes.
Failed. Failed to answer the question. That's 2. Next question.
Wow.
Does a plumb bob have mass? Does a plumb bob have weight?
Yes.
Wow.
There you
I
go.
didn't get started counting yet.
So it should affect everything.
Go on, Brian. Get in there. Get in there, Brian.
With a surface speed of 1,000 fucking miles an hour plus.
God, here comes this thing again.
Everything. Not just fucking water bulging up. We don't
see any couldn't do this when he was working with carburetors, so
the gentleman has failed to ask a question.
Yeah, but he could only do it off gravity. He's destroying fuel injection.
No, he's not.
He's
absolutely destroying you guys.
It means you've got an 8-inch per mile drop, and then all of a sudden it has to start fucking going up to get you 23 kilometers in. That's how ludicrous you have been taught.
What is your question, sir?
Down, it's dropping away from you,
can you
and then
rephrase that
it
in a
starts
question?
fucking turning upwards.
No, he's sharing information. You can take it or leave it.
He's sharing an example he made up in his head based on calculations he's sticking to, creating parameters that don't exist but must exist. Otherwise, we listen to fourth gear down the home straight every fucking time.
How do you get a fucking hump without an uphill piece?
Listen.
He believed in the globe just like you guys did once. He
He never understood the globe. And you don't either.
There is nothing to understand. If something is creating centrifugal force, it creates it on the whole surface, not just fucking to water.
Yes, but that water has its own mass, as you agreed to, and then there's weight for some magical reason.
Plumb bob, and a plumb bob is not affected.
This is also the shape of the sphere.
Hundreds of thousands of liters of water versus a plumb bob is a little bit fucking different.
No, it isn't. It's fucking mass, and it should be affected, and it isn't. It's a 100%. You cannot disprove it. Everything on this planet should be affected by fucking centrifugal force, and it isn't. It's fucking nonsense.
I agree with you, Brian.
Oh Reece, I bet you fucking do, Mo.
What's making the spherical oceans, Reece?
It's nonsense.
I was about to answer you, but then fourth gear came in again.
Well, come on.
Yeah, foreskin, you gotta quit.
I'm not gonna yell over someone, Mo. Okay, it's loud enough as it is. The guy screaming, fucking maxing out his mic.
You got a lane? Have a go.
Okay, ask me the question again.
What's causing the spherical oceans?
An equal downward force
called gravity,
which makes the water conform to the shape underneath it.
Water don't bend.
Holy
Cannot
shit.
bend. Has never been measured to be fucking bent. You'll never be able to bend water.
To the center of mass of the earth itself.
Its own mass. or anything.
Go on, Brian. Tell
to be
them.
able
Tell
to
them, Brian.
defend,
They'll never have any
it
evidence.
has
Go on.
to support
And
its own
I'd ask
mass.
Blue if I'm wrong because you two don't know what the hell
I
you're
don't
talking
give a
about. Blue,
fuck
did I
what
say
Blue
anything wrong?
thinks. You've all been fucking
Nope.
indoctrinated, if not fucking mentally fucking
Not a thing.
affected. It's nonsense what they've told us.
It's theoretical,
So-
Reese. It's
So why
theoretical.
go
Theoretical.
straight through
It's
the.
You can't
absolute
demonstrate
fucking
it.
idiocy.
I can
And
demonstrate
you've all fell for it, hook, line,
Go on.
and sinker.
I can demonstrate it.
Go
No,
on.
you fucking
Right
can't.
now, I could demonstrate it.
So does
Show
water
me
conform
fucking
to the
water that
bottom of the
curves.
sea floor? Does it curve when
You
it
cannot.
hits the bottom of the sea floor?
Water finds its own level. That's why we've got a tool called a fucking water level, not a water curve.
Oh my goodness! You didn't just make my point for me, did you?
He-
That water
think he
is
did.
being pulled to the center of Earth's mass, perpendicular in nature. That's why the plumb bob does exactly that when it's hung in the center with a string.
So why is
Water level is
Why are
dictated
you
at the
still
top
yelling?
of the water,
Why is
where
it
there's another
affected
force
by
leveling it out.
centrifugal
Still yelling.
force?
Right, you just hung yourself from
If
a plumb
Earth
bob.
is
No,
spinning,
stop
then
yelling.
there is a centrifugal force that humps this fucking sea up by 23 kilometres. So everything
So,
else
Reece.
should be affected
Mm-mm.
by the
Where do you
same
think that?
centrifugal force. It
Where
isn't.
do you
Reece,
think
There
that
isn't
hump
any.
starts?
Reese,
It's
Earth is
balanced.
Reece,
not
let's
a
come back
spinning
to-
fucking ball.
Reese,
Where
let's
would you
come
think
back
that
to
hump
it.
Now
starts,
get it
Brian?
into your
So-
heads.
Any idea?
You have got to dismiss
Reece.
what you have been told.
Brian,
If
give me
you've
a
got
chance
the
to-
evidence
Where do you
or
think
any
the
sort of higher
Brian,
education certificate,
hello,
fucking
Brian.
throw it
No,
on the
Blue.
back of the fire. Because
Brian.
all that
Brian
was
Blue.
was indoctrination for you.
Tell
You
us
have
where
been
this hump
Oh, what's
starts,
this guy's
Brian,
name?
please.
What?
Ian, tell me what causes adverse effect on your ludicrous fucking stationary frisbee.
So there's
I
no
don't
frisbee.
live on a stationary frisbee,
No,
mate.
more-
I don't know what I live on, but I know what I don't live on.
Right.
I don't
So
live
the
on a
hump
fucking
starts-
spinning ball.
Listen,
then tell me what-
that hump.
I
where
don't
does it
fucking
start?
know.
The
Maybe
one
if
that
we
you're
all
talking
put our
about?
Where
heads
does
together
that-
instead of sitting
Brian,
on here fucking
Starts at the
arguing,
North
Listen-
Pole and the
listen
South
to
maybe we
Graham.
can
Pole.
work out what we're on.
So hang on.
Buddy,
Listen to
Give
Graham,
us a-
Brian.
give us-
you know that
give
hump
us
He's
that
a
asking
you're
a
worried
question.
about, that 24 miles or whatever, it doesn't start like at the equator. It starts at the North Pole and the South Pole and works its way gradually up to being that much larger at the equator.
So you
So
have
when you
to
said,
have
wait a minute, I'm almost
a
done. I'm almost done,
fault.
buddy. Hell, hold on,
Knock
buddy.
it
I'm almost
fucking
done.
down.
Come on, my man.
It's
Come on.
stupid.
I'm almost
It's
done.
absolutely
You
stupid.
asked
You
a
believe
particular
this
question.
shit.
You said particularly, why doesn't it affect everything? And it absolutely does affect everything. Thank you very much.
Okay,
No, it
so-
fucking does not.
Okay.
Whatever.
So if this water isn't curving,
Easily
You just don't
test.
want
Hold
it
on
to
now.
so bad.
Easily
But
test
when-
it with a laser
when-
For some
fucking
when-
reason, you have
plumb
it. You
when-
don't want it to
okay,
be so
I'll
bad.
just steamroll too.
Reads exactly
when
the
this
same as a
water-
laser plumb bob,
when-
which is not affected by any
Fuck's sake,
rotation.
Brian.
Get some moderation, please, Chemo.
okay, so
Fuck's
when
sake.
this water isn't
Fucking
curving, where
useless
does
cunt.
it start curving? When?
It's fucking lunacy.
It starts at the poles. Starts at the beginning.
So we can
entire
demonstrate that
planet.
it
The
doesn't
entire
because
planet.
we can measure it.
Well, no,
We
he's
can
asking-
measure.
Well, he's trying to ask a question as if
We
he's trying
can
to say,
measure
like,
the substance that they're
you're just gonna
saying.
ignore everything I say while I'm talking, right?
We can measure. You're ignoring
Yeah,
what I'm
that's what
saying.
I thought.
So we can measure the substance and show that there is no deviation. So where does it start curving? How big does it
You
have
really
to get?
can't. You can't measure it.
Yes, you can.
You.
You can measure the water line. Anyone can.
Yeah, but I'm just being real personal about this right now. You personally can't do it. Like we've
I can do
already
it with a
established that
ruler.
before. You and I, we've already you know what I know.
I know.
about
You can do
what
it
you
with a
don't know.
ruler.
Yeah.
Yeah. A
In
millimeter's good
general, in
enough.
concept, a person could do it.
So
I'm
if
just
you can
saying
measure it to the millimeter, where does it start curving?
You can't. You can't
So-
do that.
If you can measure it to the millimeter, where does it start curving?
Right
Well,
there on
do you
your
think
first
you can
little
measure it to the
buddy.
millimeter on a fish
Yeah.
tank?
You
just
can
can't
measure it
see
to
it.
the millimeter in a fish
You gotta
tank or in
remember-
a swimming
Really?
pool with a ruler. Yes.
A millimeter.
But you can't.
Yes.
You can't because it's about
You're an
17
idiot.
microns
You
in a
can.
100-yard. Merle,
There's a
I'm
what?
talking, dude.
No,
You
listen.
not hear me,
You can
young man?
measure
Listen.
a water
Listen,
level.
you can get a
Half a
ruler.
It's
Shut up,
17
guys.
microns,
You
Merle.
can get a
17.
ruler.
The human eye can't even detect 17 microns, dude.
It's
All right,
not
about
curving.
that's about a human hair almost.
It's
a little
not
bit
curving,
less.
and we can prove it. So what are you going to do?
No, you can't. You can't measure.
We can
17
prove it.
microns with a fucking.
There is
That's the
no
best thing.
curvature.
We
telling
can
me to.
prove
Water
it. It
cannot
goes
fucking
beyond
blend.
words.
I'm sorry, but the ink.
There's
on the
measuring
ruler-
tools here to prove it.
Am I muted? What the fuck is wrong with
There's
this asshole?
measuring tools here to prove it, Grim. And your globe's fucked.
Yeah, but your measuring tools aren't accurate enough because you're claiming
Aren't
to be able
they?
to measure. You're
So a
interrupting
millimeter's
every-
not good
No,
enough.
they're not.
Merle,
No
they're not.
curvature
every
detected.
time I talk.
Not
Merle, we're veterans
nowhere
up in here,
close.
bro. You're
No
treating me like
curvature
some sort of a
detected.
noob. Hey, Merle, your lack of respect is fucking ridiculous. Like I'm
So
not
is yours.
interrupting you. Except
You're
I'm
not
not
listening
interrupting.
to what I'm saying.
I'm actually shutting up every time you start talking, and I'm giving you the floor.
So,
and you're taking advantage
you
of that, like some
haven't-
sort of a prick.
You
Hey, look,
haven't
I'll turn you the
refuted
fuck down
one
and
thing
talk
I've
straight the
said.
fuck through you. Yeah, absolutely, I have. You talk
haven't
right through every
refuted
single one
one
of them
thing
like
I've
a
said.
scared pigeon. You keep talking though.
I'll
Every
just
time I
turn
do,
you down too.
you're doing it again.
I'll just
talk
turn
right
you
through
down
me.
too. Yeah.
You just
You're
talk right through
turned
me,
down
dude.
too.
You're
So
still
we'll just
talking
have
right
like
through
a
me. I haven't
war.
actually. I
and
only
I'll just talk
threatened
over the
to turn
top
you
of
down.
you.
I'd never
Because
turned
you're
you
a
down.
dumb
You're still-
fucking weed smoking American cunt.
Wow, this is absolutely.
And your
incredible.
globe's bullshit.
So I did answer.
you know
dude.
it.
I said 17.
We all
microns
know
isn't
it.
detectable
And we're
by
not going
Merle's eye.
away. We're not
But
afraid
you-
of any of
you
you
with a
because you're
ruler
liars.
can't
You
do it.
gatekeep every day out here. And it's
Are we
done.
gonna get
It's
some
boring. It's
moderation in
gone
here?
on for
Because I'm
years and you're
listening to him
fucked.
talk shit.
You can measure
muted him.
water, the surface of
threatened.
it, with a
No,
ruler.
I can only verbally mod. I can't do any physically modding.
So you
I'm
can
talking
measure
to Chemo.
the
Chemo's
fucking
right here
surface
fucking
of the
letting this
water
happen.
with a ruler.
You be
Yeah,
the
And
that's
what we
first one
want to
on
know
me.
is, when does it start curving? Because it's
No,
not
Chemo, you're
curving.
fucked up, dude.
So where does it
You need to
start?
straighten this
Your
shit up
gravity
right now, man.
is fucked. You guys are fucked.
It's something, chemo.
All
Don't you
round
ever
fucked.
fucking mute me
So what are you
again,
going to
Chemo.
do? Keep
Ever.
lying on the Discord? Because that's all you've got.
This guy's
Bunch of
projecting his
globe
ass off
trolls,
right now. Doesn't
liars.
even realize we know it.
You're
Poor
sprung.
fella.
We all know it. Flat Earth isn't going away anywhere.
Is
What
he
is
You're not
this?
going to
Aboriginal?
put it to
Merle and-
bed. All you got is hit
Merle and
piece
Brian tag
videos.
team show. Is that what we're doing?
Hit
It's
piece
ridiculous.
videos.
Sounds-
That's all
sounds
you've
like
got.
it.
It's
Hit
ridiculous.
pieces. Hit piece videos, right?
Ah, fuck you, man.
Doesn't prove the fucking non-bending water.
Dude,
ridiculous.
Go eat a squirrel. Stop
It's not
fucking around
ridiculous.
over
It's
here.
fucking reality.
The conversation
And we
we had
understand
with
it.
Rockford earlier and Dallas Dave and a few others was more enjoyable than this.
But
Right,
it's not
this is
about
ridiculous.
enjoyment. It's about liars.
I'll tell you what.
No,
you
it's-
don't
but
we
do.
have
it's
to listen.
dishonesty.
We have to listen.
You do
It's about
not
discussion.
Well,
enjoy it.
fucking go away then.
This
It's about
is very
discussion or not
painful for you.
discussion. All we're getting is ranting
But
and
you're
reading
lying.
when you don't have the answers. No, you
But you're
asked me a
lying.
question and I gave you the answer.
I
You can't
know the
refute.
answer.
You just call it a. No,
truth-
you
You can't
don't.
refute it. We can
Truth
measure the
is
water.
Very painful.
Stupid little cunt.
The truth
Oh,
is
now I'm a
very,
stupid
very
little
painful.
cunt. You're the one who
Now
believes
we're
in
in
flat
his
Earth.
Water cannot
You're the one who believes in a
bend.
globe.
Yeah,
You
I'm the
will
one who
never
believes in
bend water.
reality.
You believe in a
It's
globe. mate.
always
I'm the one who
pointed
can
down
actually
level.
demonstrate
can't
why it's
measure
real.
it.
Hey,
can't
Merle, I
measure
don't
it.
believe in a globe.
I can measure water. You can't. I can water. I can
We need to
measure
get.
a water line.
We need to
You
get
can't.
Rizzler to. We
What
need
are you measuring
Rizzler.
with, Merle?
We need Rizzler to be a mod in here. That will change things real quick.
Mm,
Would it?
Fucking
Yeah.
A, it
Merle,
would.
what
Fucking
tool
A.
have
It
you
would be-
used to
It
measure
would be
water?
it would be the kryptonite to chemo's fucking fuckery.
Where's the curvature?
There
Let's
is
have
one.
a.
What
Can we do a
what's
poll?
causing the curvature?
How do you
What's
do one of
causing
those
the
polls
curvature?
things?
Hey,
How do you do one of those
liars.
polls?
Hey, liars! What's
I'm not
causing
even-
the
I'm not
curvature?
even-
This is
it's not
your
even worth
day.
it.
Quick
What's
poll.
causing the curvature?
Just turn his ass down.
Fucking liars.
Rivers that are 1,000 miles
You're
long
weak.
and the elevation
Merle,
drop
why
is
are
only
you trying
2
to give me
meters
a
in
friend
1,000
request,
miles.
bitch?
Well, that's
I don't want
ludicrous. If you expect water will stick on a ball that's got 8 inches per mile, and yet a river flows at 2 meters in 1,000 miles, then your globe is ridiculous.
Fucking oath it is.
No, your frisbee's
Absolutely ridiculous.
There's no frisbee. There's no frisbee, you fucking straw man.
No,
In
it's your ludicrous fucking stationary frisbee, Merle.
I just realized why Merle just
There's no frisbee.
went all fucking aggro on me because
Everybody in the
I
chat.
saw his request.
There's
to
no
be my
frisbee.
friend.
So
didn't
straw
see it.
man away.
I just did.
The globe's a meme, so's the frisbee.
But
They're
I'm
both
gonna
propaganda
decline.
put in to gatekeep the reality.
Hey,
So what is it, Merle?
sweep
We
your
don't
fucking
know.
doorstep in,
We
You've
Merle.
been
don't
doing
know.
this long enough. You've been doing this for
Maybe
years.
if we
You
all
guys
put our
have no
heads
clue.
together, we might be able to fucking find out.
Yeah,
You've
we
had
don't
years,
know
right?
where
You just told us you measured it.
you were
but
born
Merle's
in the
gonna
well,
measure one side
just
of a
like us.
swimming pool with a ruler, and then run over and then measure the other edge with a ruler.
And,
but
and
don't
to,
worry,
and to
That's
claim
his
power is
idea
not
of
needed in
measuring
to
the
claim
fucking pool.
to claim that you know what it is
Look what
is
happened when I left
intellectually
to go and have
dishonest.
lunch.
To claim
Rocket- sorry.
any of you know what it is intellectually dishonest.
No, it's not. Rocket, have you voted on the poll?
To claim any
I
of you
have,
know
yes.
what it is
I have voted.
intellectually dishonest.
We're
Stop
sending it to
lying
Jim.
to yourselves.
You can
Stop
repeat that as
denying
much as you
reality.
want, Merle. Doesn't
It's
change anything.
intellectually dishonest
A little bit.
because
No,
you
it's
don't know what it is.
It's
None of you
intellectually
know what it
dishonest.
is.
It's intellectually
of you.
dishonest to go
None of
out
you know
your
what it
day
is.
with the
How
amount of
could you ever
data
know
you have,
what it is?
with
How
the
could
amount
you
of
ever
data
know
you
what
have to
something
work
is that
with,
you don't know what it is?
You gotta
with the amount of data you have
How
to work
could you
with,
ever know what something is when you don't know what it is?
with the amount of data you
How
have to work
could you
with.
ever know what something is if you don't
If you
know
turn
what it
them
is?
down,
Yeah.
Merle,
you-
lower your voice. You're going to wake your mommy.
do you? Yeah. If
With
you
the amount
turn
of
it down.
data
So
you have
how
at
do you
your
know what
disposal,
something is
Merle,
when you
it's
don't know what it
intellectually
is?
dishonest for you to say you can't know what it is. You live in a
Say it one
fucking
more time, Mel. I
fantasy
don't think we
land.
heard you the first
How do you
time.
know what something is when you
Because you
don't know
have
what it
enough
is?
data to
I've
make
been sarcastic.
you have enough data to work with, and it's intellectually dishonest for you to say otherwise. For you
So
to
how
say
do
we
you
don't
know
have
what it
this, we
is?
don't have that, we don't have this,
How
we
do we
don't
know
have
what we
that.
don't
How
know?
do you know what
Those
it
are
is?
lies.
Yeah,
When
You're
did
just-
you verify
How do
it?
we know
you're
what
just
we don't
living,
know?
you're just living in a fantasy, Merle,
Lashing out at
and you've
people
been
who
there
don't
since
accept your friend's request.
I've
How do you know
known
what
you.
it is? How do you know what it is?
Weird.
How do you know what you don't know?
How come you
Because
can't
Shireen
use?
doesn't know.
How come you can't use the data of every sunrise and sunset and map out the flat Earth right
How come
fucking
you don't know
now?
what it is?
Because you can't. That's why.
Because you don't know what it is.
Listen, there are
You don't need to know
fundamental
what it
things
is to
we
map
do
the
know.
sunrise and sunset.
And the fundamental things we do know is the fucking water always finds its own level. That is your one
Where's
go-to
this asshole?
fucking thing, tells you what you might be living on.
Down
The
here.
other thing is, we
Tired of
cannot
hearing
be
full-grown men
spinning
fucking whining
because
and
we
shit.
don't see the fucking
Shut the
things
fuck
that would
up.
happen if we was spinning at the rates they tell us.
We actually
Okay.
do, Brian.
Now,
We actually
well,
do see
don't.
exactly what we should
What
see.
do we see?
Brian,
Let's
we can
let's
measure
try.
the, we
We
can
do
measure
not
the
get
difference in
fucking
weight of masses at
centrifugal
two different
force.
latitudes and see the change in centrifugal force. You can do that. It's been done over and over again. All you have to do is make measurements of the weight of a mass at the equator
That's not
and measure it again
centrifugal
at some
force, is it?
different latitude, Brian, and you can see the change in centrifugal force, sir.
Thank
So
you.
a down, what you say now, a sideways fucking force is a downward force.
That's
You
not what
didn't
he
hear
said at
he
all.
said, did you? Fucking
You talk
asshole.
like
You
a
hear what-
cunt, mate.
Here's a question for you.
Absolutely.
Here's a question for you, Brian. Why do they
Now-
measure gold? Why? Listen to me.
I'm
Stop
not
talking.
taking
Why do they weigh gold locally
questions.
and then
I am
sell
want
it
you
at that
to
local
get
price?
into your head, there are certain things
Yeah,
that
fuck
tell us
you.
what
Fuck
we
you.
live
It
on.
weighs
You're
less
not
than
having
something.
conversation.
Does not follow.
He's probably
a
turned us
curve.
all down.
Conversation's over, Reese.
He's all turned us
If
down.
there is a curve,
They all
water
do that.
will run
Conversation's
off of it.
over.
Fucking just wants to talk. You're not even fucking listening,
because
Brian.
You're
We don't
filling
need
your
to
head
listen
with
to you
shit.
liars anymore.
Not mine. I take no fucking
Hoping to
notice
get
of
you
you.
wound up.
You're filling your own head
That's why I
with
turned it
shit.
down, so I can't really
You're a
go.
fucking
Look at
moron.
the evidence around
You're a
you.
fucking retard,
Water
Reese.
does
Okay,
not
Mel, you answer the
fucking
question.
bend.
Why do they weigh gold locally and sell it at the local price instead of shipping the gold to another country to weigh it there?
Who gives a fuck? It's got nothing to do with what we're talking
Oh,
about.
sorry, Mel, that's the wrong answer.
because it weighs
Water
differently in
does
different
not
locations on the Earth.
bend.
Exactly.
We do not
That's
have
the correct
centrifugal
That's the correct
force
answer, Merle.
on
Because it
anything other
weighs
than
different
fucking
at
water,
other
so they tell us.
locations.
It is
And I
not.
know this because of my life and the way it interacts with the jewelry industry.
What's your shoe size?
11.
12.
What's your brain mass?
Don't know. It's reducing
What'd you
daily.
have for
Fucking
breakfast
listening
this
to this
morning?
fucking shit. I skipped it.
Well, get out of the shit then. But this is coming out. This truth will come out. And you can tell all your fucking
I said I
shit.
skipped it. Get out of the shit, you said. Kid's fucking hearing aid.
I know.
This
I don't know if
truth
it's a hearing
will
aid
come
or
out.
what they need.
You can't even know why you can't even answer a simple question. Mel got it wrong. You didn't care. That's why you don't fucking understand anything, because you don't care enough
because
to
I
be
want
fucking
to.
humbled by
I
people who
don't wanna
do
be
understand.
fucking programmed by your bullshit anymore. If you want to be programmed by it, be
I've asked you
it.
two questions.
Don't come here
Two
trying to
fucking
spew
questions,
your
and you
shit
won't
on
try to
me.
answer either one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Explain
that'd
the
be right,
Edlos
please.
effect,
Range
number one.
5,
And number
straight
two,
and
why does
level.
the same mass have different
Brains
weights
never
at
fucking
different
dip their
latitudes?
nose to stay at 3 or 4 or
Talking
We
when
have
you
the
5,000
say
right
fine,
to
it's
years.
okay
reject
with me.
bullshit.
It's
We have the
complete
right to
Rude
reject
fucking
fuck,
bullshit.
go right
nonsense.
on and be a rude fuck.
Really
You
is
know?
I'll play along
nonsense.
with
I
you.
mean, come on.
I've been here for
It's a
years
talk
hearing this
over every 1
bullshit.
hour, is it?
But I've been hearing this for years. I gave you a
Well, that's what
chance.
Merle's been doing for the past 45 minutes.
I know. I come back after relaxing dinner and come back to this.
But Terry,
I learned
I've
to-
been
I
out
just
here for
calmed
years,
down.
mate.
I
A
turned
flat
all the
earther,
loud people down enough.
listening.
I can still hear
It's
Gave
a
you
very
all a
painful
chance.
journey. You've
And you
all
still
got to go
can't
through
map the
it.
sunrises and sunset
I
any day
had
of the
to
week.
go through
Even
it.
with your band of
You had
researchers
to
and
go
jingle
through
makers,
it.
you can't do shit, Merle. When are you going to wake up and realize I can't even do this because it doesn't make fucking sense? And Brian sure as ain't going to fucking help you. Whammer is as silent as a fucking mouse right now because he can't do it. Why didn't you wake
What
up and
about
realize
the
you've got the data
boosters?
and all you've got to replace the action of doing it is fucking excuses and weak, unqualified excuses at that. It's harsh to be in reality, but I humble myself before the great
Reese.
fucking minds of this world, and so
Reese.
should fucking you.
You
Reese,
go fuck yourself. They
check
fill us
it.
all heads full of
Guess
shit.
what? They
Like
can't.
water bends. No,
None
it
of
fucking
none
don't.
of you, even the top levels of science, can't produce the globe, mate. Sorry.
You can't have more than fucking 2 objects orbiting. You
You
throw
wanna
in
put-
the third, and the slowest one has to be the fucking fastest one.
It
Hang on,
doesn't
you wanna put
exist,
money
Reese.
on
I'm
that,
sorry,
buddy?
bro.
I'm over
Yeah, I do.
All right, so
Wait, did I
explain.
just hear Mammoth try to understand the 3
Right,
body problem?
okay, little test you can do yourself.
Interesting.
Start
Wait, hang
walking
on.
around your
That's fucking
missus's
hilarious.
car, and then
How
get
about
her
I
to
hold
pull
the
away
bet for
and
you
stay
guys?
at the same pace that you're at.
Hang on, Mabbit.
Impossible.
Can you
You get
explain?
fucking
Hang on.
run over, you thick cunt.
Oh, wow. I didn't even
I'll be
get
the
to
man.
answer the question.
You don't
And
have
on
to.
the tick-
It's fucking common sense.
Let's
Something
put
that's
this-
been
let's
drummed
put this
out of
bet
your
on
heads.
escrow real quick. Send me over the money. What are you guys betting?
Where's the globe, shallow Earth?
You cannot have more than 1 object orbiting another. If you introduce another object, it all goes fucking tits up.
Then explain the 4 moons of Jupiter that Galileo saw over
There
400
aren't
years
4
ago.
moons then, are there? Because science tells us we can't have fucking all them orbiting each other.
No, it
It's
doesn't.
bullshit.
Science don't say that.
A bit
You just
like
say there's no
telling
moon.
me water
It's just the
bends.
moons
No,
around
it
Jupiter.
fucking don't.
Where's the
I
globe,
don't
true
have to
blue?
fucking prove that. I know in my
Where's the
head
globe,
it
true
doesn't.
blue? Where is
Water
it?
Brian,
does
get a
not
telescope
fucking
and look at
bend.
it yourself. You can
Where's
see
the
the
globe,
moons
True Blue?
orbiting Jupiter. Shut up, Mill. You
Hey,
can
True
see
Blue,
the
where's
moons
the
of
globe?
Jupiter
You don't
orbiting
know what the
with a
fuck
telescope.
they are.
True
Get a
blue,
You don't
where's the
know
telescope.
what
globe?
they are.
Is
Where's
there a
the globe,
mod in the
True
house
Blue?
by any chance?
I don't
Hey,
know.
globe,
Could be just
globe
a
heads,
fucking
where's your
He's
globe?
even trying to
Fraud,
get
you know?
That's all we need. All
Yeah,
we
he
need
might
is the
mod when
globe.
he
Where
wants
is
to.
it?
And all we need from you, Merle, is what shape you think it is.
Where's the globe?
Where's the flat Earth?
You think
Where's the
fucking
globe?
flat. You got
Where's the
hills
flat
and
Earth?
Yeah, where's the
mountains,
flat Earth?
valleys.
Exactly.
The earth is
Why
not
can't you
flat,
produce
but
it?
water lies
Why can't you
fucking
produce
flat.
it, Merle?
Yeah, me
See,
being
I
not
can
a
play that
globie or
game too, Merle.
So why can't you produce it
categorizing
again?
myself as not a flat earther or a globie? I'm still waiting for evidence for the flat earth so I can make my mind up if it's a flat
So
earth
where's
or
the
a globe.
globe, Terry?
No,
Where's the where's the
all you
flat Earth,
need
Mel?
is evidence for
Yeah,
a
where's
Can I
flat
ball.
find the globe, Terry?
I need some evidence.
Right, first
mean,
evidence,
where can I
water
find
does
it?
not fucking bend.
Mabbit, will you please just shut the fuck up?
No.
Seriously.
The only thing that's going to put this to bed is to produce the globe.
Produce
It's
the flat
flat.
Earth,
The
Mel.
globe.
Yeah.
You're on the
Nonsense.
globe, Merle. Look
Are
down.
we?
No, we're
Yeah,
not
we'll
on a
show it
fucking
to you.
globe.
Are
Where's
we?
the
I've shown it to
globe?
you millions of times.
It's
Boom.
fucking
Produced.
complete and utter nonsense.
And measured.
I don't think anything living could live on something that's spinning at 1,000 fucking miles an hour. I really don't. I think
Earth
it's
doesn't
fucking
spin at
ludicrous.
1,000 miles an hour. It rotates at 15 degrees per hour.
Yes, and each degree is 70 miles, you thick cunt.
66,000 miles an hour. around the sun.
Now fucking times it by 15, and you'll get
Come on, Brian, you can stand in
1,037
your
miles an
foot or
hour, you
something.
fucking idiot.
500,000 miles an hour through the universe.
Gee, I learned
Fucking
something and then
lunacy
and I
that
get
you
told
have
I'm wrong.
had drummed into you. And you've
No,
got
it's
to
not
break
drummed
it.
into me.
Yes, it is
I'm just
drummed
working-
into you.
I
It's
learned
nonsense.
1 plus 1 equals 2. So
Yes,
That's
and that
wrong.
might well be right. But you are not living on 1,000 mile an hour surface of a fucking ball. It's ludicrous.
Like this guy's he's lost his fucking mind now. Seriously.
I know he really
I'm
has.
fucking
He
voice.
really
He hasn't
has.
lost his
Yeah.
mind at all.
He has,
No,
and
I
anyone
am
believes what
fucking
he's
the
saying
same.
has lost their
I
mind
am
with
the
him.
same as any one of you. But what
So
I have
triangle
had is
side
the
one, one,
The
and
understanding
one.
globe
and
makes more sense
realisation
though, right, Reese?
that I have been fucking lied
Fuck's
to.
sake, man.
By people that I pay. I fucking
You're
pay
right.
these
You have
people
been.
to educate
I agree with
me
you, Brian. You
and
have been lied
educate
to.
my kid.
So
Well, Brian, I
if
mean,
went
what
to
would,
triangle side
what
one,
could
one,
Shut
one
up,
equals-
chemo. You
what
know
would,
you don't need any more chemo. Terry was talking, all right? Terry was talking, and you fucking talked over the top of him. Go back to your fucking breakfast. Have an extra piece of toast, you fucking useless cunt.
He ain't that good.
Well, I was going to
What
say,
did you say,
Brian,
Chemo?
what would convince you
I
that
bet
there
you
are...
were going to say chemo right over the top of Terry. Terry, carry on. Chemo, fuck up.
Go on here, Terry.
I can't hear
There is
Terry
nobody
either.
else talking.
I was talking, wasn't I?
Sorry, Terry, didn't hear you there,
Did
pal.
anyone
I
hear
didn't
me
hear you either,
talking?
Terry. Sorry.
Everybody heard you, Terry. Everybody.
Everybody.
Ah.
I didn't.
Fucking useless cunt,
Everybody.
chemo.
I heard
Go on,
Terry
Terry.
until chemo came along.
No, I'm just talking about maths and adding up things to know if I'm right or not in what I learn about math. Like in triangles with sides 1, 1, and 1. Am I wrong about what the answer is for that?
Spherical or never mind. You clearly
No,
I'm being a dick.
I
Now I'm being a dick. Sorry.
Yeah.
Cannot have a spherical triangle. Triangle is straight lines. You can't have a straight line on a ball.
Mabbit, spherical trigonometry is a thing, excluding whether you believe it is
No,
sphere or
it's
not.
not.
It
It's made
exists.
up fucking bullshit.
You're an idiot.
In a sense, yeah.
You
I could say,
cannot have a triangle with fucking bent lines.
yes, you can.
You haven't got an
They're
angle,
called
then have you?
circles
If
of
the line
spirit.
is
They
bent,
are
They're
you haven't
called
got a
great
fucking angle.
circles.
Great, exactly.
See how they've twisted your
It
fucking
must
brain.
hurt you and Blue. It must hurt yours and Rocket's head so much to listen to shit like this. I mean,
It's entertaining.
others-
That's why I'm here. I mean, that's
and
the
others.
real
You know,
reason.
not just you
They're
two,
just
but
here
just.
to gatekeep. They're just here to
Yeah, way to leave
gatekeep.
me out.
I didn't know you're still here. I was away from my computer, and you've been so bloody quiet.
Hang on, when he
Well,
says me or you, it's
triangle,
covered for
don't it?
both of us.
Yeah, I know.
so-
Wait,
Everyone
hang on.
can't tell us apart.
Hang on, Taylor.
I can tell you. I thought you'd gone after the
Sheeple,
shark
how dare
incident.
you speak over
The
me? That's
gatekeeping's
terrible.
over. So
I'm
rational
fucking-
people
I
start
know
to
you're
get with
fucking-
it.
Let me hear my
I'm
rest.
calling the name.
So
I
can-
know,
sorry,
I
did
do. You're
What
good.
were you
Yeah.
saying,
You're good.
Spurs?
You're good, Spurs.
Spurs?
I just wanted to point out. Oh,
definitely,
look,
I
a curvy triangle. Oh shit, you
I was
can
gonna
do a
ask,
triangle
Brian,
with
what-
curves.
What curve? What curve do you put on it then?
Just want to
Brian,
go
Brian,
through the
you know,
list.
ask you
something.
It's
Just
fucking
Brian-
Just want to go through the
What?
list. True
because
Blue,
when
Brian,
you
let
change the
Chemo ask
radius,
something.
everything fucking changes.
Zant. Also Davros.
Forget Zant. Don't worry about that guy.
And we've also got Taylor still here with us.
You can
Ask
only
him,
measure
We've
a
got-
triangle
we've
with
got,
straight fucking lines.
We got Terry.
These guys are
And
just
the
defensive.
internal
Very
angles
good.
must
Very good.
add up
Understands.
to 180 degrees.
Jace
I get me
understands.
2.5 cents worth in.
You
sometimes.
guys are being
Yeah,
pumped by
Alsoy.
flat Earth right now, right? You're
Kimo, are you going to act like
It's
a
only
mod
Ball Earth
anytime?
that's talking
Joel.
right now.
I'm just going through, Kimo. You see, the bias is always with
in the
you.
corner.
Well, you're
All
talking
those
over
people
each other. What am I supposed to
understand.
do? Mute the ballers
Yeah,
for
all
talking over
those
each other.
people, Kimo, understand what Brian says isn't happening, can't happen. The man needs to just buy a ball and a fucking big, like a biro marker with a Sharpie and fucking draw a line on the ball.
I've done it.
Is it straight?
No, it's fucking bent, you twat. It goes round the ball.
Oh, wait. No. Which
How can you
direction are you
draw
looking
a
at the
line?
line?
If I was
Yeah.
looking at the ball from vertical, why? How could I see it was curved? You
It
twat.
bends away from you. It's bent. It is not fucking straight.
Well, hang on.
In 3D space, it's curved,
It
but the
is
line itself
bent.
is straight.
It is bent.
You're a muppet.
Okay, I've got
Change
another.
it into Muppet.
Okay, I've got
Rule
another
straight?
analogy for a straight line. If you draw a straight line on a piece of paper, and you pick that piece of paper up and roll it into a cylinder, is that line still straight?
Is a
It's
ruler
bent.
straight?
It's a
Is a
circle.
ruler straight? Is a ruler a straight line?
Well, you drew a straight line to start with.
Yes,
Is a
it
ruler
was
a straight line?
Can you
Laying on
bend
a
a straight
flat
ruler?
level surface, yes, I agree with you. But as soon
Can you
as
bend a
you
straight
give
ruler?
that-
Is a
as soon
ruler a
as you
straight
give
line?
that
Can you
elevation,
bend a straight
it
ruler? Metal
becomes
ruler?
a bent
Plastic
line.
ruler? Yes,
So
you
you
can.
can't answer because you're scared.
Is
And
it straight?
depending on how much curve you put into it, totally fucking alters everything. You
Like,
cannot get an angle from a
This is
curve because it is
knockout
constantly
punches.
going away.
No, you're
from
an
each
idiot.
Right,
The
Hang
globe,
Brian.
the
It's
globe's on the
fucking
road.
nonsense.
You
But
just
let's
knocked
build your
out.
head.
Just
So,
stay down.
Brian, I
Stay
hate to
down, you
say, but
fucking
as a person
weaklings.
who actually works on systems that articulate in 3 dimensions, and you do need to take angles off of curved articulations, you
No,
absolutely
you can't. It's impossible. Where do you
I-
measure from? What part of the curve do you fucking measure from?
I'd like to hear this guy finish what he was saying.
I mean, you take your radius of curvature and you take your articulation along the curve. It's
Assumed.
not a particularly mathematically complicated thing to do.
It's assumed. It's
Now
pre-calculated.
you go
No, it's
further
not
around
assumed.
that
We
curve.
have
that angle
EM
is gonna
tracking on the
fucking
devices.
alter.
We can project the actual movement of the objects into 3 dimensions. Take the 3-dimensional curve.
Presupposed
the-
dimension already programmed.
Presuppose. I'm literally taking physical devices,
What does it
putting an
matter?
EM
We're
tracking
talking
tip on them
fucking
in a field generator
shite again.
and tracking the
The
3-dimensional
fact of the
movement
matter
of the
is-
object. It travels
The
in an
fact of
arc
the
in
matter
3
is,
dimensions.
Water does not, cannot, and will never fucking curve around
You're
a
an
ball.
idiot.
Now you can get that into your fucking head.
No,
Yeah.
you can't fucking get it.
Stay
That's the
down,
problem.
Reese. You're already
It is
knocked out, mate.
painful.
Oh, whatever,
Very,
man. I'll
very
take you on
painful.
one-on-one on
You
any
will
fucking
rethink
topic,
your
and
Your
I'd school
mouth
you,
guard is
embarrass
out, and your
you, and you
teeth
know
are
what
on
would
the
happen?
ground. You're
You would
bleeding like a
actually-
little bitch.
You would,
Shut
you
your
would-
ass.
Yes,
you would
leave moderator.
actually,
You're knocked out, man.
yeah, you would
Moderator.
actually, you would
You're
actually
Refrigerator.
rage
Water
quit.
You don't
and
have
your
any rational
me-
sense.
fucking
At the end of it,
bend.
Merle, you would insult me and then rage quit. That's what
You
would
don't
happen
have
if
any
we debated
rational
one-on-one.
sense.
I'd
Just
fuck you
Don't
up
have
in
any
the
rational
face, mate.
sense, Reese.
Oh, chemo reckons
Slightest
these are better without
deviation
mod.
You're a
in
white
elevation,
belt.
water
Yes,
will
Chemo.
come off, will it
You're
not?
stuck in 2018 where I left you.
You're a 3D printer. At least
Yeah,
that's
that's
Is
reality.
that an insult?
That's
Well,
why
that's
I'm
reality.
in 3D
Always
space
run
and I
off.
can draw it in
That's
3D.
the
I'm
only
drawing
reality.
3D.
Lowering
I'm
of
drawing
the
in 3D right
elevation.
now. I'm drawing a thing for a
Yeah.
customer.
At least
So,
that's reality, mate.
Yeah.
The other
reality.
stuff's fantasy.
Merle, what
Reality
do you
you
do?
can't
Remind me,
understand.
Merle, what do you do?
You'll never know.
I do like how
Oh, I
Merle
see
tells
how
me
this
stuff I
works.
actively do for work is fantasy.
Yeah. SFA is what
Yeah.
you do.
You'll never know.
Water will
Merle,
always
you do
run
fuck
off
all.
a
You live off
slope.
your
Always.
mother's money.
Do I?
Yeah, you do.
My
What
mum doesn't
fucking
have any money, you
difference does it make
fuckwit.
what he does and
No,
how he
because
does
you
it? It
sold her
doesn't make
house and you
no
took it
fucking
all.
difference to this discussion. Doesn't matter. Don't matter what you lot fucking do.
Brian.
Where's your globe, rocket scientist?
The fact of the matter is, water will always
M1, M2,
come
or
the
R
slope.
squared.
Yeah, you ain't got shit. You got fantasy and
No,
insults.
I told you what the simplified world model is right there. What do you have?
You
You're
just missed the
living
target.
in a
You don't know what I
thing
do.
that's
You
been
don't know who I am.
planted
You
in
don't
your
know what I
fucking
know.
head.
So you're
Merle,
fucked.
you're a fucking
Yeah,
pathetic
everything
loser.
around
Prove me
you.
wrong.
Oh,
Everything
you're
around
not.
you tells you it's not what you've been taught.
Brian,
What?
may
You've
I
got
ask you a
insults, rocket
question?
scientist.
Oh.
You've lost.
Is it
No,
about water curving?
Insults don't
Brian.
prove the globe, do they? You
Shut up,
fucking
Mel.
freaks. and
Brian, may I
retards.
ask you a question?
You can try.
Don't tell me to shut up,
Right.
fuckhead. Fuck
If-
you, you stupid cunt.
Hold on,
There
Mel.
you go, typical Mel.
Fuck
Brian,
you,
you're
you
traveling.
stupid cunt.
Thank you, Brian. You're traveling
you.
along a. Thank you. You're traveling
Thank
along
you.
a straight. Shut up, Mel.
Thank you.
Brian.
Thank you.
Hey, mate, do your damn job, will you?
You fucking cunt.
Mel, while I'm trying
Hold
to
on,
talk.
Mel. Hold on, Mel. Let's listen to this.
Come
I
on,
think they
Mel,
want to
please.
ask, Brian a question.
I'm trying to.
Yes.
I'm
Thank you.
travelling along.
Brian.
Yeah.
Brian, you're traveling along a straight road. You're not turning your steering wheel at all. You're
No.
driving up a hill. You're
Yeah.
not turning your steering wheel at all. Are
Yeah.
you still driving straight when you're going up and down a hill? Straight road.
Straight in one direction, but not in the other. We're
Thank you.
elevating. So
And that's
anything
exactly
that
what you
elevate,
see on the globe.
That was the
where you
same thing with
one
the
elevate,
right
direction.
thing.
you are bending upwards.
That was
If
the same
it's on
question
a
with the straight
globe,
line.
you
You're
are-
drawing a bit of paper.
You are turning. You
Yeah,
are turning
but, you
downwards.
had to dumb it down a bit.
Oh, yeah. I thought I
forgot that.
did. I thought I
Sorry,
did.
not. Sorry, Terry, not enough.
Okay.
You got to do something where he can physically get in something and try it
Shit.
himself. You know, driving
If
along
you
a
are
straight
going
road.
over a
You're-
curve, you
you're on
are
a dumb list now. You
turning
better start digging.
downwards.
I
So
didn't bring
yes,
any crayons
it
with
is
me, Taylor.
turning.
We
It
got
is-
digital
you are
crowns, Terry.
picking
We
the
got.
nose down.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
is
yeah.
turning.
It's just
Yeah.
so funny.
I've got to
So
get
So
to
if
Audi.
you go up a hill, you're turning upwards.
Oh, sorry. I wanted to talk about my shopping. I want to go to Audi. I want those shoes that Chemo's wearing.
Classic perspective. You know, the perspective is
I
actually
want to
not
know
where
what
you
I
see
was
the
taught at
horizon.
school. I want to know
listen.
what I was taught. Sorry, Jimmy.
Why do
No,
you
sorry,
make
I'm just saying.
life of
Just
this?
saying, Terry. You
Why-
got to understand that
why do
perspective is
you
not only
all
to do with perspective.
start
Perspective
fucking-
is also when you think you're winning an argument when you've already lost.
What are the dimensions of an echo chamber?
Your brain.
There is no curvature.
I don't know. There's a
You've
vacuum in
got to
Chemo's
get
head. Ask him.
this into your heads. There is
So
no
does it think-
spin.
How's it
We
feel
can
to
take-
be?
I'm
How's
going
it
back to my
feel to
work
be
now.
in a?
I've yelled enough.
feel to
I've
be
been
in a
disruptive enough.
heliocentric fantasy cult? How's it
I've
feel?
yelled. I'm just saying. I've yelled enough.
Where
I
you
apologize for my
you
outbursts.
bolster each other and
just
you
Okay, reached-
bully people
Get some sleep, bro.
daily
Get some
who
sleep.
think differently to you.
I'm going back to my
How's
drawing,
it
but I'm
feel,
just,
guys?
I'm just saying I've reached the limit of listening to this
How's it
simple
feel to be
dismissal
obvious?
of
Not
everybody's
about
work
listening,
and
it's
effort.
about
You know,
learning.
I've kind of reached a
Is there
threshold.
an
So
icon? Is there an icon
We're
in here I can
here
put my
to
hand up so
teach you.
I know
Do
when
you
it's my
not
turn?
Terry,
understand
sorry,
this?
it's
So I'm
not
out.
a Zoom call, dude. It's not a
How's
Zoom
your dick feel? How's your dick feel in a sheep's ass?
I know.
Got
I know that,
to
Deborah.
get
That's
this
Oh, yeah.
crap out of your head.
really mature, Mel.
I
You have
just want to
been
know. I want to
brainwashed.
know if Mabbit knows how a
lost your
carburetor
argument.
works.
Where's
Just want
your
to show you
globe?
that. You lost your argument, so now
Where's
you
your
do
globe?
personal insults. Where's
I
your
know how
fucking?
it works.
Rocket
Where's
just
your
insulted me
sunsets?
though, didn't he?
Where's
You
your
didn't
sunrise?
speak up for
I'm
me,
not
did you?
Rocket. I'm not Rocket.
Oh well, you just remained
Rocket.
quiet while that went down.
If I know
Absolutely.
how it works,
You
Bro, you know what? You know what?
and
On
Rocket
second
are
consideration,
fucking adults.
you're still a fucking asshole and a fucking idiot.
Yeah. Do you fuck beavers or real life people?
Well, he's having a.
There's beavers around in Canada, but no, just for people. Thank you.
Aren't they a bit prickly?
Oh no, I haven't fucked a beaver recently. Have you?
Recently?
Ask Jamie.
I slipped up.
Oh damn!
Here's,
Literally.
here's,
I
a
think-
fun, here's a
what?
fun fact from Hans, our wonderful weird person. Platypus is just a beaver with a prosthetic.
Oh, you're talking about Hans Worm Hat? Hey, Hans
Yep.
Worm Hat, where penguins aren't real,
Yep.
right? Pandas aren't real. Anything that's
Yep.
black and white, it's not real to him. It's not in
Fuck off,
colour.
Toucans aren't real as well. Their beaks aren't real. They're just done for
Prosthetic.
photo shoot.
Did you manage to answer that question, Brian? From
I never heard it, mate. I didn't hear.
You don't have the
He
answers,
couldn't
Chemo.
stop talking over
True
people
Blue
long
was
enough to
asking you
hear
a
a question.
No,
that's usually the way.
he answered that one, but then denied his answer.
Fucking three of them talking at once.
And
Maybe
that, you were
let's,
talking
try
over me
again.
so much that you
With
thought
the
I was talking
question
about
through.
water.
Yeah.
It's a shame
Merle, if you want to
cannot
find the globe,
get
just
out
look
of this
down, you
programming.
mental fucking midget.
Yeah, your
You
insults are so old. It's
None
it's
of
like,
you
have you
can
got
get
anything
out.
new, Rocket?
Compared
None
to
of you
him,
can-
though, Merle,
Yes, Merle, turn in your opposable thumb and get out of the gene pool.
So you don't have anything new, do you?
I haven't said that to you before, so that's new.
You sure?
The gene
that's-
pool
yeah.
is stagnant, and I am the Minister of Chlorine. Hail the dude.
I think it's fucking
Postal
amazing.
2. Postal 2, best video game ever. You got
Yeah,
to put a cat on the end of an M16 and
And that's
shoot it.
where
So
you live.
They wouldn't
It's
let.
a
They wouldn't let
video game.
postal. They wouldn't
And this
let
is what-
postal into fucking New
It's a
Zealand.
video game.
All right,
Yeah,
Merle,
This is what
I
they've
had to
done to you.
torrent
They
it.
Have Ross.
want you
Merle,
to
I have
live
something new
in
for you.
a
Here's one I have never said to you
fantasy
before.
world.
Your mother should have swallowed that cum shot. Okay, that's something I haven't said to you before ever.
Goodness sakes,
So-
rocket scientists.
So, if you could prove your globe, why don't you prove it?
You
We
can't.
can,
Look
Merle.
down.
I told you to look
You
down.
cannot.
You asked
I'm
what was I told you to look down.
I'm going to say this one thing, and then I'm going, Merle. Okay, if you could prove that you could actually map every sunrise to sunset, you could actually show how the Earth is not a globe. Mic drop.
Yeah, can we talk about, like, can we all agree that if for something to be practically possible, it has to first be theoretically possible?
Well, I want to know if the slightly overweight cop actually has his own gravitational pull.
No, I'm not there yet. I guess I'm close, but
What are you what point are you making, slightly
Okay, so-
overweight cop?
for something to be like actually in the physical world possible, it has to first be like theoretically possible. Do you get what I mean by like theoretically practically possible?
So
Yeah.
would that be
Totally agree with
Merle
you.
would theoretically need to be a fucking moron and then demonstrate that he's a practical fucking moron? Is that right?
Close. I mean,
Okay.
like you have to have like a model prove something is theoretically possible. No, it doesn't prove it's practically possible, but it proves it's theoretically possible.
Like orbital mechanics?
Yeah. So if you have a model for the flat Earth, that proves it's theoretically possible.
Well,
what if the laws
it's-
of physics are
it's-
wrong?
It's obviously
They have no theoretical model. They have no practical
But-
model. They have no working model. They have no
Well-
imaginary model. They have fuck
okay.
all.
Nice gatekeeping. So
center
hang on,
covered by-
Lemon. Then I'll let you go. There's obviously a horizontal lateral plane. Like it's obvious, and it's factual. So
There is
We did not
no
understand your
curvature
question, Carl.
detected or measured
it's
anywhere.
obvious.
Is that
Everyone
your-
experiences it. So
The
what are you gonna
problem is
do?
you're proving it's practically possible before you can say it's theoretically possible.
It's observed and experienced, not just
There is
thought
a
or
tool-
spoken about.
There is a tool called
Again,
a
they
water
still don't
level.
understand your question, cop.
Yeah.
There is a tool called a water
I
level
understand.
that
his question.
100% proves the surface of water is level.
It's experienced.
It does not follow
It's
a
practical.
curve.
Yeah, but that's not going.
100%.
That's not going
Now,
to
if
help
you
the
don't want to
argument
take
right
any
now.
notice of that, that is entirely up to you.
There's a
But
practical
water
aspect
level
to it.
shows a level surface
Yeah,
because
but
the
it also
natural
demonstrates.
physics
that's
of water
horizontal.
is to find its own level.
Yeah,
Everyone's
water
lateral.
To follow
proves the
a
globe.
fucking ludicrous curve.
Actually proves that water will follow the curve. That's what a water level shows you.
No, it
So
fucking don't. You thick
Yes, it
twat.
does. Wrong. I looked at. I think you looked at doesn't all you want to.
This is fucking
Why
hilarious.
do you say such shit, Blue? You know it fucking don't.
I know you're a fucking idiot, Brian. Of course it does.
So when you get out of
bed, fucking don't.
Holy shit! Someone's gonna get a stroke.
When you get out of bed, when you get out of bed in America, Brian, chill out, mate. You're not helping.
Brian, you may want to take a little walk before you blow a blood vessel.
Brian, just chill.
It does not fucking bend.
If you get out of bed in
America,
America, if you get out of bed in America, your feet on the ground, feet first. People do that in Australia too. Prove me wrong.
And the model is essentially North Pole in the center, continents radiating out, surrounded by an Antarctic ice wall. In most of the models I've seen covered by a dome, conceptions rather, as opposed to model or whatever. So that's basically it. I put it in the chat.
Good. Then explain how Edvos effect works on that model, please. And then tell us why the weight of objects differs with latitude.
So why are we all upright?
If you look at that ancient Israelite cosmology that I go with up there, there would be ether swirling under the dome. That would give you your Yatvis effect as it goes east to west. And as it is absorbed in the object, the ether, the substance of space, would impart a slightly different weight to the object.
Now look, Lemon, we're not picking out drapes for the living room. I don't want to know what you go with. I want you to give me some evidence of what causes Edvos effect on this stationary thing that you just described, and why the weight of objects vary with latitude. And give me something with ether which doesn't exist.
The ether was accepted up until a century ago, until it was replaced by space-time. It's a viable theory that's even more viable than gravity.
No.
You have to give them practical things they can't refute. That's how we win.
Ship me a
so
box.
You need to give them practical things they can't refute. They can't argue. They can't get past.
Mental midget Merle, can you
like
can you tell me what
on your
things
feet
that we can't refute? Do you have an example?
So does everyone gets out of bed and stands feet first and stands up, which means everyone's lateral.
What?
Wherever you are on the plane.
We are all
that means
on the
nothing.
same level.
That can be proven.
Try and go Merle. Gives another one.
So you're not on a sphere.
Look at that.
Because that just didn't make any sense.
Yeah,
Einstein, the closet geocentrist. That's the plot to bury the ether.
Well, it's practical and you can prove it. So what are you going to do?
That video goes over the plot to bury the ether.
Well, you got to disprove that one first.
Well, you just made it up, so I don't have to do a damn thing.
I didn't make it up.
Here's
you
another
can prove it. So
you
have to disprove.
Your conclusion
so you have to
was
disprove it now. So disprove it. Disprove it.
Yeah. Okay. Here's another one, Mil.
Right. So I win, right? So I win, right?
Come on, Mil. Explain how.
So one for flat Earth, right? Now we'll go to Lemon. No, Lemon. So that's one to flat Earth.
Oh, it's Lemon here. Right. Fucking backing out.
What's good? Big Blue, I put the video in the chat about the plot to bury the ether the moment it was inconvenient for Copernicanism. Go watch it. It's 2.5 hours of wonderfulness. Fast forward to about an hour in to get to the good stuff.
That's 2 for flat Earth.
The ether is essentially the substance of space, moving around you, me, everything, moving in and out of objects. It gives space solidity, substance. It's not a vacuum. I guess you can think of us as fishies swimming in the ether, breathing air, which is what? Particles mixed in the background ether of space? This is what I chalk up to the Coriolis effect, the Yatvis effect, all that.
So how fast is the ether moving? How come all these other things move at different speeds?
According to the Michelson-Gale experiment, it swirls once a day over the Earth. about 1,000 miles at the equator. Instead of the Earth rocketing through space and spinning on its axis, it would be the spin of the ether. If you've ever seen water swirl in a drain, that's basically analogous to the ether. You put the water in the drain, you take the plug out the drain, it starts to swirl around the center, and then toward the outer edge of that sink, you get rolls. That would be their swirl for Coriolis. What was that?
Lemon, I'm sorry, I've been drinking, so I don't understand what you meant by that. Could you please explain that again?
The water with the drain?
Yeah, please.
Put the water in the drain, then take the stopper out of the drain. You'll see the water swirl in the drain. That would be like the east-west swirl of the ether. And toward the outer part of that basin, you're going to get counter whirls. That would be your Coriolis effect. Yes, instead of the whirls going clockwise around the drain or whatever, they'd go counterclockwise toward the end or vice versa. I mean, toward the outer part of the basin. That's your Coriolis right there with the ether. The ether swirling gives you whirls and counter whirls that we would know as Coriolis.
Counter whirls, okay.
Yeah.
Counter whirls.
It's like when you dance.
Whirls and counter whirls, clockwise, counterclockwise. You can see the effect even more easily if you put like some salt in there, some pepper, or something that lets you see the swirl. Parsley flakes, whatever.
But if you put pepper and you sneeze, will that not affect the swirl pattern?
Well, that could explain the Iatvis as well with the swirl of this substance as it goes over the earth. If you go against the swirl of this ether substance, you would register a different weight. Simple.
So, Lemon, do you think that
makes sense?
Do you think that God put the ether there specifically to make us think that it's a globe?
We don't have curvature for a globe.
But every observation we have that seems to indicate that it's a globe, you say, oh well, ether's doing that. So do you think the ether was put there specifically to trick us into thinking that it's a globe?
We need 8 inches per mile squared of curvature for a globe. We don't see that.
Except when we do, and is that just ether?
We don't have it by laser test or long distance observations. We're seeing up to 1,000 miles.
Except when we do.
Where do we see it then?
Do you think that maybe the ether is just tricking us into that? Do you think the ether is just like wiggling the lasers around?
Your questions are relevant, and it's stupidly phrased to embarrass me. So where do we see 8 inches per mile squared?
Are you embarrassed by the question?
Let's replace your stupid question with a serious question.
Well, Lemon,
inches per squared of curvature.
I kind of get what he means slightly. I think what he's saying is that is the cause of the appearance of this 8 inches per mile squared, is that because of like the ether? So they're saying that
stupid question to embarrass me, I'm going to replace it with a serious question. Where's the 8 inches per mile squared of curvature, sir? Go.
Posted by Dupas in the chat, Lemon.
The land survey of India, done a couple hundred years ago.
Messed up by curving lenses and perspective.
There's literally a picture in chat of curvature. Measured curvature.
Yeah, the USGS coast to coast. Yeah, I mean, a similar thing was done by the British in India. It's a really great read if anyone wants to look through, learn a lot about experimental methods.
Since Lemon has been cooked, please refer to him henceforth as Lemon Chicken. Thank you.
So I think the last question was curvature. Who's measured it? When? And where?
Quite a few people have measured it.
I have. I have.
You've measured the drop. Come on.
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
You've established a horizontal and measured the drop from that.
You don't need to do that.
Oh, Rocket. Come on.
Oh, Chemo. Come on.
Let's be serious now. We don't want to stress out your evening.
You're gonna what?
So, Kimo, what have you done?
I've been to St. Bees with Anthony, with Ranty. We went to Wales with Ranty, a different place. Been out with Nathan. We made some measurements, some observations. We hired a boat. We had a P1000, P900.
Okay, Kimo, stop one there for a second. Every time I ask you this question, it's always like that. I went with this person, this person, this person. You can never say that I did this.
I did.
Unlike
This is what
me.
I did. I went with the
No,
guys.
you didn't. You went with somebody. You didn't do anything. You had to have your
we had
little
a
numpties
supporting
do something
team.
for you.
We had a supporting team. We had a group, and we went out there together to make
Lovers?
observations. We hired things. We made observations. We came to the conclusion that the Earth is not curving. We see the lighthouse. We see the boat. The lighthouse should be over the curvature of the Earth.
Yeah.
You know?
You measure it.
Yes, because according to Google Maps, the lighthouse should be over the curvature of the Earth, and we were able to see the lighthouse at a very low elevation. We also hired a boat to go over the so-called...
I think you're lying.
We did.
I think you're lying because that's the footage that Ranty posted, and once again proved the globe. Because when he went down on the steps, because he was up on top of the wharf when he measured, when he went down to sea level, the lighthouse disappeared.
That's
Stop
why a lot of
lying.
flat earthers are frustrated with you guys, because we actually go out there, make the effort to show you the Earth is not curving, and we bring back the results, and
That's wrong.
they're just hand wave dismissed. It proves curvature, but there was no curvature to be found, none whatsoever. So yeah, we get out there, we do things, we test your claims.
Here's Samuel Rowbotham's quote about the questionable theodolites and other optical instruments used to fake the curvature of the Earth. In Ireland, Scotland, and several parts of England, he has been challenged by surveyors to make use of the theodolite or ordinary spirit level to test the disappearance of the horizon. It was affirmed that through this instrument, when the horizon always appeared below the crosshair. What was that?
Oh, man.
Hold up.
Really unnecessary.
I've read this for you before, but the Globers tend to ignore it, so I'm going to read it again. As shown in Figure 30, the crosshair indicates the horizon. In every instance when the experiment was tried, this appearance was found to exist. But it was noticed that different instruments gave different degrees of horizontal depression below the crosshair. The author saw at once that this peculiarity depended upon the construction of the instrument.
You think your
He
annoying
ascertained
fucking
that in
voice
those
is
with the
gonna
very
make
best
us more
construction of the most
receptive to
perfect
us?
adjustment, there existed a certain degree of refraction, or as it is
Absolutely.
technically called, collimation, or a slight divergence of the rays of light from the axis of the eye on passing through the several glasses of the theodolite. Page 40 to 41 of Zetetic Cosmology. So you see, gentlemen, the lens is lying and not giving you an accurate rendition of what's out there.
So they're not right?
No.
So everybody's property lines are not correct?
Theodolites can only be used up to short distances. Over long distances, they get increasingly inaccurate.
So property lines, state lines, county lines, state line, country lines are all wrong?
Short distances, over long distances, you cannot ascertain curvature. It makes the horizon drop below the crosshair and lead to the false impression
So you're
of
saying that
curvature.
all property lines around the whole world are wrong?
Pretty much, over long distances especially. Lenses suffer from barrel distortion, pin cushion distortion. You can't trust them alone. You need a laser.
So there we
So based on your quote, Lemon, presumably Robotham quantified exactly how much error we can expect out of a lens of a certain construction, and so we can quantify that and then adjust for that error.
You can adjust for it, but it still will be there. Over long distances, you can't trust these theodolites or these surveying instruments. So you're going to need a laser to double check.
He didn't quantify this error. He just suggested that there was an error.
So you're going to get different drop because of the curvature of the lens.
So can the error not be calculated? Is it impossible to calculate the error?
Theodolites can be guaranteed up to a short distance, but past that, if you're using theodolites like these Globers are, you're going to get fake curvature.
I need to know exactly what distance can they be guaranteed up to.
A mile.
Say in the manual?
1 mile.
Back in
Okay,
Robotham
Kimo, how
say
did
it
you
was
determine
300
that
yards.
1 mile was the exact
No,
amount of
that's what I
distance
heard
that the
Rakia
theodolite
say.
can use
300
as
yards
a
is
lens?
like 900 feet, like 1,000 feet. That's like a city block.
I heard Rakia say a mile. I don't know if you know.
Oh, now I'm hearing 900 feet. I'm hearing 900 feet from Lemon.
He might be on about something else.
The furthest I've seen
There
is
is no specified limit for a satellite. An angular resolution spec. That's all.
But I'm hearing Chemo and Lemon are both claiming there is one, and they're both claiming wildly different numbers.
Yeah, I'm just only going by
what are you
Rakia
basing the number
says.
off of?
I'm not a
Okay, so you're
surveyor.
basing your number off of what some guy who fishes, what his estimation of lenses are. Lemon, what are
He
you
might be on
basing
about
yours off
something
of?
different, so I'm probably made a mistake. I just heard Rakia say we can measure over a mile, and after that it becomes distorted.
So according to Chemo, some dude said this once. Lemon, what are you getting yours off
You
of?
know Rakia.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, Rakia is some dude. He doesn't manufacture lenses.
No, but he does
the
measure
thing
it.
is,
He
kind
doesn't
of
manufacture
they-
lenses. He has no
people
deep
be
understanding
fighting
of the use of lenses.
saying
Well, I don't know.
everybody be fighting over the property lines and the state lines and the country lines if they were not guaranteed.
When did Robotham say this, Lemon?
1800s.
And where did he
okay,
gain his
so we're
understanding
dealing
of
with some
lenses?
I would guess interviews with people.
So he
Surveys.
learned about lenses by interviewing people. He did
Yeah,
no
surveys,
studies
stuff like
or
that.
experimentation of his own.
According to this quote, did something.
So that quote doesn't suggest that he did anything.
Hold on. The author saw at once that this peculiarity depended on the construction of the instruments.
Okay,
That
so he
implies
saw
some
once
sort of
there is a
experiment of some
peculiarity
sort.
based on the construction of the instrument. He does not quantify what the peculiarity is, what the construction of the instrument is, what we should expect there, what we should
This
look
is
for,
what
how
you do.
should we determine that it is correct or not.
They're effing up the view of the real world. It's that simple.
So
Theodolites
Robotham
can only
said,
be
hey,
guaranteed
I
up to
saw
short
this thing,
distances.
therefore
and
we can never
folks
trust
seem to
lenses
think
in
the
any case.
theodolites way out of their range anyway. So
But you didn't determine what the range was, Lemon. You couldn't tell me what the range was.
put it off of the lens.
As far as I'm concerned, you're just making numbers up and making things up.
And eating on the mic, Lemon. Come on.
Lemon's gone now.
Wearing
Come on,
fucking
man.
headphones. It's disgusting. And you just let it go
I didn't
on.
hear
Kim.
him eating.
You don't hear anything that you fucking selectively don't want to.
Well, why didn't you say so? We could have brought it up.
I did after the fourth time. I didn't want to do it right away like a pedantic asshole, but 4 fucking times, you know? And then the bite mid-sentence.
But it can be stressful for flat earthers when you guys just make up lies and just make up stuff.
All right, Kimo, answer this question before I go back to work, okay?
You see,
and I'm
look,
posting a video
I
in a
was
minute.
right.
Posting a video.
Look,
I just made a video for you.
Lemon
I just made
writes,
a video
some
for you.
people are just too blue-pilled to... I knew it. It's not that he ran away. It's like, I get the sense that it's just like talking to a brick wall, which is why I've always said you guys... I've said to the flat earthers as well, it's not about evidence, it's about therapy. It's about psychology.
Okay, so Kimo, which of my questions was a lie that I made up? Which of those questions was?
Well, I mean, I just think you're being very difficult. Probably not that you're failing, you're just being very difficult. You're
Because I'm not
working
just
with...
accepting what he's saying? I'm just taking what he's saying and then accepting that it's truth? Does that make me
I think you should
difficult?
just accept what he's saying, but I think just working together, I think, is what he's looking for. You're not prepared to do that, so he kind of bailed.
So you're saying to be a good flat earther and to not be difficult, I should just take what Lemon says and assume that it's true?
No, of course not. This is
And
where
that
you
would
should
make
be-
me a good flat earther?
No, if you were being honest, I think he would think you would look into it in the right way.
Oh, so like I said, what part was I dishonest about? Which part was a lie?
No, well, I didn't say you specifically. I just said when talking to liars.
Yeah, but we're talking about me specifically. We're talking about me specifically right now.
No, but as I just said it, Lemon wrote in the text here, too blue-pilled, so you're too brainwashed.
Yeah, but you're just saying that I was not being honest. So what was I not being honest? You're calling me a liar right now, Kima. I heard you call me a liar. What am I lying about?
Because you're being difficult and you're not.
That's not the same as lying. Am I being difficult or am I being a liar?
Well, I didn't say you specifically were lying.
Yeah, but you were talking to me about me,
I
and
said
you
when
said you're
talking
being
to Globers.
dishonest.
No, I said when talking to Globers.
No. You said you're being difficult and dishonest.
Difficult,
We're
yes.
talking about me. We're talking about me right now, Chemo. It's about me.
No, but I'm not saying that you're lying. I'm just saying.
No. Unlike what you say, this right now, this is about me. Why are you calling me dishonest?
No, I didn't say you. I said ballers.
Yes, you did.
You did say
No.
you. You say you called me specifically dishonest.
No,
if
I
that's not
called
what you meant to say, you can
difficult.
retract it. I'm okay. I'll accept it if you retract it.
Well, if I did say that, I didn't mean to say that.
Okay, so I'm not
bullshit.
dishonest. Okay, so I'm just difficult.
Yeah, so it's like
So the problem is that I'm
ballers
difficult.
in general are liars, but you were being difficult.
Well, you gotta stop right there because you can't say that because there is so much cherry picking. The interviews you say that you guys do with what Nathan said, you've taken little sets of the whole interview and said, "Oh, this is what he said." Bullshit. And bubbles in the space, that's bullshit. And the little, he disappeared inside the space shuttle. And there's something, but that's bullshit because you didn't look at the whole picture. You show people little bits and parts of things. And then the guy yesterday, he did a thing that he put the North Star. He put he drew the lines to where he wanted it, and then he backed it up. And they caught him on that yesterday, big time.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't say that boulders will lie when it's.
Well, I mean, when I say
No.
lie, what I kind of mean is that you know what he's getting at. You know what he's getting at. You know what he's trying to achieve, and
Asking questions. I want to know if what he's telling me is true. I want to know if he's being honest. So I'm asking him questions. And you're telling me, I shouldn't ask him questions.
yeah, because I
It's just
think
being
Lemon's at
difficult.
this stage.
I should
where...
just accept whatever Lemon says because otherwise I'm just being difficult.
No, I think Lemon is at the stage now where he's nothing else but the flat Earth, so he wants to investigate more. So I think he's looking for people to help
So I'm
him
asking
build.
him how he's investigating, and he's not giving me any answers, Chemo.
He's not
He
doing
wants to
anything.
build.
He's
Different
trolling
answers
cunts.
to the same
He's
question.
trolling you.
I don't think he wants
He's
to debate
trolling
you. He wants to build. So he's asking for assistance in 2 minds and all that.
He's
kind
not
of stuff.
asking for assistance.
Well, I think he just wants challenging in the right way. And like I said, you're too
He's a
blue
troll.
pilled in
Oh,
his mind.
But what? So what's the right way for me to challenge him?
Well, again, like I said, that's why I think he's looking for not a debate, or he's trying to say this is what I think it is. Let's look at this.
Okay,
and
so
move
the
forward.
right way to challenge him, I'm not allowed to disagree with him in any way.
Well, of course
Is
you
that-
can,
is
but
that
I'm saying I
what you
don't
want?
think he's looking for a debate.
Okay.
I think he's just
So
looking for.
I'm not allowed to ask him any questions about what he says. That's the right way to challenge him?
No, again, because he's not looking for a debate, is he?
I wasn't debating. I was asking him questions.
Because I kind of saw your point about the ether, which I wanted to ask him more about, but he kind of avoided it with me asking it.
Yeah, and it seems like when I'm asking questions, he doesn't want to answer any questions. He just wants to say, he just wants to preach at us and then leave as soon as he gets
Well,
questions.
that's what I was going to say. He doesn't want to debate. He wants to say, this is how it is.
Yeah, he wants to
Let's
preach. He wants to
explore that."
preach, Chemo. I wasn't debating. I was asking questions.
No, he wants to explore his viewpoint more.
But he doesn't want exploration because he doesn't want questions. There's no
Oh.
exploration if you can't ask questions.
Because again, I think his position is that you're not being honest, or you're being difficult.
Oh, but we just
there
went
we
over
go.
this. None of it was a lie. Nothing I said was a lie. It was just
No,
questions.
not a lie. It's different from being so you're just.
So what's the difference between being dishonest and lying?
Because you know his position. Okay.
No, I don't.
and-
I was asking questions so that I can understand his
Yeah, but those
position.
questions are not designed really to assist in his viewpoint.
Oh, so I have to ask questions that aren't real questions. They're just questions that make it sound like I'm challenging, but really I'm just agreeing with everything he says.
No,
Is
your
that the right kind of
questions
question?
are like
Imagine
you said,
it's like a Biden press conference where they ask questions that have already been vetted to be okay.
No. It's like you said, you were trying to embarrass him.
Oh.
So should I start with a question like, Lemon, why are you so wonderful? Is that a good question
you
to
can
ask him?
me any question, but I'm saying he felt like you were trying
Kimo,
to
why
embarrass him.
are you so wonderful? Is that right? Am I being a good flat earther now?
No. Did you not hear what I just said?
Perfect.
He said already,
Okay.
you're too blue pilled. He's already
Kimo, why
said.
do you explain things so well? Could you please tell me more about the flat Earth? Is that a good question?
Perfect.
Again, that's dishonest. Your approach again is not honest. Yes, that's what I mean. I think that's what he's getting at.
Welcome to the roundabout circle
No,
joke
I
that is
get why you're
chemo.
doing that, Taylor, but not most people
What
won't
you talking
understand
over me for, chemo?
Kima doesn't understand sunsets either. That's why he runs from them.
I understand
like a
why
little
he's doing it like
bitch.
that, but again, some people will be like, "You're just trying to embarrass me," and
Yeah,
obviously,
but I don't think I was trying to embarrass him. I was
You
trying to
do-
understand what he was saying.
You do enough of that to yourself, Kima.
yeah, that may be the case, but it's difficult to gauge when that is, right?
Well, I
Yeah,
think
time-
when
time is
people
now.
ask me questions, I engage them honestly,
Because
and I
sometimes
hope
the
that they'll do
ballers
the
go
same
half
to
and
me.
half. They want to mock, and then they want to
No,
ask
it-
a serious question.
Yeah,
When
but
ask
I'm
a
not a
serious
stranger to
question, then they
Lemon.
wanna mock.
Lemon and I have talked many times.
No, I'm just
I'm
saying,
not some
as a
stranger that
whole, you
Lemon's
want to
never
mock,
met before.
and then ask a serious question. You want to mock serious. So we.
When did I mock? When did I mock?
I'm just saying in general. This is what can happen.
Yeah, but we're not talking in general, Chemo. You keep doing this. You keep saying in general. You keep saying these insulting things, and I go, "What? Why is that about me?" You go, "Oh no, it's not about you. It's about everybody else. It's about everybody else."
That's how the
You're
flat
talking to me,
earthers-
Chemo.
Yeah, but that's how the flat earthers see the ball earth.
Yeah, but how about you stop hiding behind going, "Oh well, everyone else is doing this." Oh no, not you. I'm not talking about you, but you're talking to me, Chemo.
Yeah, but what's the difference between you and any globe earther?
Well, I don't know. You say I'm a liar. I'm being dishonest. I'm trying to embarrass him.
No, I'm telling you what Lemon said. Lemon said that you tried to embarrass him. Then he wrote in the chat here that.
Yeah, but you were listening. Was I trying to embarrass him?
I've already said. I said you're being difficult.
Yeah, you said that already. Was I trying to embarrass him?
No, I think you were trying to be difficult.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so that's the problem.
You're being
But
very
hitting too
awkward
close
with
to
him.
home.
I'm sorry, this is just bullshit. I'm
That's
sick of
bullshit.
this.
Yeah, that's bullshit, Chemo. He asked questions in the most polite manner that he could possibly do based on the questions that, were coming to mind, developing from whatever Lemon was saying. How the fuck do you deduce from that he was being difficult or insulting or trying to make Lemon stupid?
Because you know Lemon's position, and as I said, Lemon at this point as well wants to work with a mind who can help move this idea forward.
I didn't know Chemo was a white knight. I didn't know that.
So
He
tired
is.
of you.
He's so white and he's so knighting.
Chemo, and in terms of top flat earthers, where do you put Lemon?
Oh, Lemon's way up there, yeah. Top tier flat earth.
Wait, but what number? Like number 18?
Well, there's just like a panel of the top tier, so it's not like
7?
a number. There's some of us that are on the top panel.
Who's the top?
and
Who's the
then
top?
obviously
Who's the top flat
the
earther
next level, and then
currently?
the next level.
Who's
you
your
know.
finest mind currently, Chemo?
Yeah, finest mind. Good question. Good question there, Chris.
Well, you can just
Chris,
take any one of the
you
top,
know that's a non sequitur,
top
right?
panel, and they would absolutely destroy any globe earther,
Right,
immediately.
well, name one. Right, name two.
Jeremy, Rakia.
Oh my god.
That's funny, Chemo. I'll
Thanks
give
for
you
the
that
laugh,
one.
Chemo. Where are you on the list, Chemo? Where are you?
Yeah, but he starts with Jeremy.
That's good.
Where are you, Chemo? Where are you?
It's not about me.
He starts with Jeremy, the guy who's got no depth perception.
Well, I challenge the top 5.
Wait, so Jeremy's better than, say, I don't know, Quantum Eraser?
Any
Your
of these
God.
guys on the top panel would just, go
Yeah,
to town.
Spurs.
So
I'd like to see Reese go over to Dell's, see how he'd go.
I'd like Dell to come here, see how he goes.
Can I have a translator if I debate you?
And they don't know the answer, but they come up with some kind of make believe. It could be this. Isn't that when you'd rather say?
But what you'd realise is that Dell would unravel Reese's logic and show where his logical fallacies are.
I'm not knocking Dal, Mel, but I mean, I think what Dal, I think Dal, I think he's kind of like, he demands like the evidence of a globe, obviously, which is what we do.
Is Merrill above or below Jeremy in terms of
we're all on the same panel, I've told you. Very long
as a flat earther.
panel. But Merle, in terms of Dal, I mean,
But
the
is
arguments...
Merrill above or below Jeremy in terms
Chris,
of prowess
logically,
as a
you're
flat earther?
below me, so where does that put you?
That's fine. I'm happy with that. I'm coming from you. It means very little to me, Merrill.
Well, so where do you stand? Where do you stand, Chris?
I don't
in
stand
the regards of intelligence.
I don't stand at all. I have no standing whatsoever. I'm under no illusions, Merrill. I'm under no illusions.
He's mid-table. He's not the bottom. He's not the top. He's mid.
I don't care to be categorized whatsoever.
That's why he's
I
mid.
don't
because
take
he's
it.
like,
I don't
"Oh,
take
I'd
this
rather
seriously.
troll."
I take it about as seriously as I take my own life. Like fucking hell.
Himawari 8.
That's why you're mid.
Again, we've been over this, Meryl. I've brought it up several times before in the past. Somehow Riley and you, I seem to think it was my go-to thing, but I brought up the South Celestial Pole way more often because it's way more devastating than any fucking satellite that you can just
Devastating
cry
to
foul at.
what?
And,
Devastating to what?
to
What's
flat
it
Earth.
devastating to?
To the flat Earth.
What flat Earth?
Mm-hmm.
To the idea
What flat Earth indeed?
Flat.
Yeah, hang on.
Flat Earth is so
Does it prove
decimated that it
does the
doesn't
South
even
does the
exist.
South Celestial Pole prove the globe, Chris?
Yes.
Definitively, without anything else.
It debunks the flat Earth. But Mel, do you think you could actually beat me in a debate?
Reese, you're no match for me, mate.
Do you honestly think you could beat me in a debate?
With
I
my
think that's what
eyes
you-
closed and my
Exactly,
arms
yeah.
tied behind
Okay,
my back.
what topic do you want to debate then?
Do the South Celestial Pole.
What you want to do? The South Celestial Pole?
I think it would be great because you both.
I don't want to
There's
do
something
that.
you need to know, Sheeple.
No, I don't want to do that.
You don't
What's
want
that,
to enter a
Kev?
debate with Merle if you're unarmed with this particular bit of information.
I'd like you to definitively prove
Merle,
that.
hang on. Sheeple.
Curve was talking, Mel.
A half
That's fine.
a
But
millimeter
I'd like you to definitively prove
equals
the globe.
a centimeter. Did you know that?
What the fuck?
Oh,
So I'd like you to definitively prove the
your
globe.
potential opponent here is armed with that knowledge.
Hey, fat grandpa,
Merle
shut up.
knows that a half a
I know, what on earth
millimeter
is he talking about?
equals half a centimeter.
Fat grandpa, shut up.
Not take a
Lost his
battle
mind.
with him without being properly prepared.
All right.
Wow.
For that.
Hell, that's
Let's get
that's
back
pretty-
to the
that's pretty
discussion
bad,
then.
man.
Why don't you
That's-
fuck up, Chemo, you piece of shit?
I thought you were
Definitively
sleep
prove
talking
the
then.
globe.
So why were you so confused about this?
Yeah.
No,
Okay, but
it's-
formal debate
Reese,
any day of the week, mate. Any day of the week.
definitively
I'm
prove the
freaking
globe,
off
Reese.
15 minutes.
Go. Start.
What's that?
Definitively prove the globe. Go.
Definitively prove the globe. Sunrise to sunset. You know what I bet. Any model? No, not yet. It works on a plane, but I can't explain it. To turn a minion to a parrot, you just have to train it. Meet Merle, everybody.
Boom.
That's quite good.
Mic drop.
Not bad.
Where's the globe?
Oh, hang on. Look, I just debunked Mel. Oh, look.
Where's the globe, Reese?
Hanging between your legs.
Turn a minion into a parrot. I enjoyed that part.
Yeah, so that was weak. So
Right. That's part of my rant.
wouldn't you need some substances?
Right, so sunrise to sunset.
So sunrise, is the sun the earth?
Sunrise to sunset.
Is the sun the earth?
You're asking what definitively proves the globe.
Logical
Sunrise
fallacy
to
one. So he's
sunset.
talking about something that isn't even earth. So
why is it
one for Merle.
why is it logical?
Not
You asked me.
definitive, is it?
What you should do is ask me to explain it, not try to dismiss the point.
Sunsets can happen on
Okay,
a flat
so
Earth.
is the earth the
The
Earth,
angle
or
at
is it
which the sun rises and the angle at which the sun sets for different locations on Earth every day throughout the year definitively creates parameters that must be adhered to based on the point or
Are you
observation
reading this?
location of the observer. This is
You're
coming straight out of my
reading
head. Coming straight out of my head, Mel.
Okay, so is the earth the sun?
Right, so
Okay,
see if you
so
can get this.
logical
I'll
fallacy
break it
two.
down. I'll break it down. I'll use less
Two,
syllables. Okay, here we go.
It's
The
easy,
place
it's fine,
from
I
where
told you.
your feet are, looking at the sun, give you only options for
Right.
where you can see the sun and
Yeah.
where you can't. For example, if I'm facing the sun and I turn my feet away from it, I can't see the sun no more. If
So
I
where are
turn
you
my feet back to listen,
Okay.
if I turn my feet back towards the sun, I can see it again. Now that sun is not controlled by me. The motion of that sun is not controlled by me. Do you agree?
Are your feet planted on
Do you
the earth?
agree that
Are
I
your feet
cannot
planted on the
control the
earth, Reese?
sun?
Are your feet planted on the earth or
Do
the
you
sun?
agree that I can only
Reese?
observe the sun? Yes or no?
Are your feet planted on the
Do you
earth or the sun?
agree
Reese?
I can only observe the sun? Yes or no? This is
You
my
can only
argument.
you can only
Not your
observe the
argument.
sun with your
Don't
eyes,
answer
but where are
that
your feet?
question.
Where are your feet?
Right. So I can only observe the sun. And
Start
so the
talking
sun,
about the earth, or you've already
sun is
lost.
seen in the morning, and it's seen setting in the
So he's
afternoon,
lost.
going away in
He's
the
lost,
afternoon
right?
to the
That's
evening.
3 to me. He's not even
No.
talking about the earth.
No, this is not perspective math, okay? This is reality, Merle.
You haven't even
Now,
spoken about the earth
that's
once.
my sunrise and my sunset.
So it's
before
4 to me.
Before it's sunrise,
So he's
for you,
triggered. He's going
it's
to quadruple down
it's
and not
sunrise.
realize he's not even talking about
Why
the
are you
earth.
talking over me?
So
you
he's
asked
gonna
me for my
quintuple down.
argument.
Now he's triggered.
You asked me for
So
my
stop
argument, and you've
before you embarrass
constantly
yourself more
you've
and start
constantly
talking about
spoken
the
through
earth.
me.
You need to start talking about the
constantly
earth
spoke through me,
before
Mel.
you embarrass yourself, mate.
This
You're
is good
constantly
conversation, Kimo.
speaking through
You're
me.
in the corner on your knees, and I'm going
Just
to elbow
letting
you
Maul
in the
run
face.
wild over people. That's the way to go, right, Kimo?
Now I'm
being a
going to
little
knee you in the
Is
neck.
that right, Kimo?
Now
That's the way to
your
go.
spine's
interrupting me.
That's
broken.
the way a fucking
You're
Bush
dead,
channel
Reese.
should be run.
me,
This is
Mel.
Let
over.
Maul the
So
retard
talk
run
about the
fucking
earth.
wild.
Talk about the
Interrupting
earth
me,
or shut the
Mel.
fuck up. Talk
Interrupting me,
about the
Mel.
earth or shut the fuck up.
Right, I am on the earth talking about the observation.
about
Where
it
the
then.
fuck else am I observing the sun from, idiot?
Talk about the earth, Reese.
I get angry like you do and call your name because that should I what is that
Can
what I
just
should do?
real
Is that what
quickly
about
say,
the
Mel,
earth?
Mel, Mel,
Is
the
that what
sunsets and sunrises happen on.
Why
You're a
aren't you talking
fucking
Mel, the
about the
sunrise,
earth, Reese?
Where am I
Mel,
seeing the
the
sun
sunrises
from?
and sunsets happen on the earth.
You need
Fucking
to
idiot.
talk about the earth.
Mark
Reese.
Merrill, do
I'm talking
sunrises and
about
sunsets
Mel,
happen on
that's
the
where my
earth.
feet
We're
are.
talking about the shape of the earth, Reese.
Merrill,
not the
do
sun.
Fucking moron.
sunsets
Can
and
we? Can I
sunrises
have
happen on
Can
the
I have
earth.
Mel muted until I finish my point, and then you can mute me? Can we do that, Curve?
Kimo will just unmute him. Kimo's
Well, no,
a little ragged bitch like that.
Yes,
Mel,
we don't
do you
need,
agree to be muted
any,
until I
As long
my
as
point?
Kimo's in here and's got such superpowers above me, there's not much I can do.
Yeah, we
Because
don't
Kimo's
need
a whiny little bit.
any.
Well, I
He
request
soils
him
his
to
diaper
fuck up then.
and goes crying about it.
Yeah.
Well,
I
you're
request
the
him
one
to
that's
shut
doing
the
the most
fuck up
shouting
as
here,
I am
Chief.
trying to make my point, Chemo. Don't
Fuck
you
yourself,
fucking take
Kimo, you
sides.
piece of shit. You
Well,
worthless,
I think
slimy
what we
shit,
want is,
Kimo. Fuck off.
a nice free-flowing conversation.
We'll be
That
free
was
flowing
not,
if we
Kimo.
have a
You're out of your fucking mind.
We have a discussion, Merle. That's what we want, right? I won't speak through your points, and you don't speak through mine. Can we agree? Are you an adult enough?
Yeah. We'll give Kimo a chance to be a big boy. If Maul starts talking over you, Maul will be muted.
Go ahead,
You guys
Reese,
both be
embarrass
respectful.
yourself.
Shut up, Kimo.
All you have to
You
do
guys
is
both
just
be
ask-
respectful of each other. Take your turns. Don't talk over each other. Go. Kimo, you stay the fuck out of it, cunt.
No, I think everyone's being polite.
Shut up now. Shut up now. It's good. Right. So when I mention the sunsets, it denotes that I'm standing on the earth, meaning I have to be on the earth to see the sunrise here in New Zealand. The sunrise dictates where I see it. I don't dictate where I get to see the sun. My sunset is before your sunset, right through to the northern hemisphere, where their sunset is the last one when it comes back around to me. If I map the location that each one of those people looks at on the equinox, everywhere on the earth, the sun rises in the east and sets 270 degrees west. Impossible on a flat earth model. The only shape that works any time is the sphere. Now your job, Merle, is to say why that doesn't work. I brought up the shape of the earth, and I brought up an observation made from the earth. Go.
So there's a definitive difference between the sky and the sun and the moon and the earth. So the earth is substance-based. It's covered in water. There's land. There's rocks. There's mountains, valleys. That's what the Earth is. And we also have anti-gravitational devices called alfalfa sprouts and trees. Prove me wrong.
Wow.
I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna give you a moment to just
What the fuck was that, Merlin?
focus on what I mentioned.
Three of the anti-gravitational devices. Got it.
Go again. We'll just give mulligan. That's a mulligan. Go again.
Can you spell game over?
Yeah, I think this spells game over for you.
Yeah. Can you read it off your screen?
So can you actually address the points that Reese was making?
What was the point? Let me try. Go on, Sheep.
This is actually between Merle and Sheep, I think so. You should stay the fuck out, Kimo.
You can't have this type
Flat
of
Earthers are all
conversation
in
with
this
Merle.
together, pushing forward, annihilating
Well,
the globe idea.
I called out Merle one-on-one. That's what we were doing, Kimo.
Mano,
it's not a group. Do you see? I'm not getting any assistance from the globe. No one's helping me.
Oh, okay.
But
Merle ran away. Everybody.
Can you recognize when you lose?
Can you realize you didn't answer a damn thing on my point about the sunset?
You didn't win.
Okay,
You just
can we
spoke
get
about the sun?
No, I didn't. I gave parameters to the sun's movement, and you didn't even touch on that. You told me about some fucking anti-gravity fucking
I'm not
alfalfa
talking
sprouts.
about the sun. I'm talking
But
about
that was my point. You must rebut that point. This is a debate.
No, you don't make the rules.
Well, this is a debate. You wanted a debate.
You
don't make the rules.
Okay, let's go this way. Let's go this way.
Logic,
Let's go this way.
My logic is superior to yours.
Flat. Go.
My rational thinking is based
Mel.
on facts.
Okay, that was my point for the globe.
Facts.
That was my point for the globe. You go now. You go for the
See, I
flat
wouldn't
Earth.
make a claim unless I could factually demonstrate it.
I can back it up. The sun rises and I can measure its location, distance.
Why do you keep
height.
talking about the sun when you're talking about?
Because I made the observation from Earth, Mill.
So
That's
start
why.
talking about the Earth. See if you can. Or,
I did.
Can't your brain process the Earth?
I did
stuff?
make the. We're going through the debate, Mill. I don't show you my whole deck of cards.
Why are you
just
having
yet.
difficulty processing things like water and land and rocks and
Mel, we
plants?
can get there. We can get there. But now it's your
We're
turn.
already
to bring
there.
up a
That's
point.
where we are.
No, it's your turn now, Mel.
We're not
I
in
brought up the
space,
sun.
Reese.
You couldn't.
We're not on
You
the
couldn't
moon.
even address
We're
it.
not on the
You
sun,
couldn't
are
even-
we?
You couldn't even address it. So let's
Reese,
move on.
where are we?
Your
We're on
turn.
Earth,
Your
right?
turn. It's your turn
Reese,
now,
we're
Mel.
on Earth,
Tell me
mate.
if the Earth is flat. Definitive proof. The same question. Just replace globe with flat Earth. Go.
Yeah, it's a level, horizontal, lateral plane. That's how everybody experiences it.
Brilliant
Again,
analysis. Thank you for that.
prove
Merle.
me wrong.
Well, he
Right.
said he can look at the sky, and that tells him the Earth is curving.
No, I didn't say that at all. I did not say that at all.
Well, you said
So don't-
certain, you
I'll
said
say that.
objects in the sky tell you what the Earth is.
No, I didn't say that.
Hang
You
on,
said
I thought
the
this was
sun-
between you and Mel. What the fuck?
Mel's
Yeah, I
got-
know.
Oh no, Mel's still here.
Kimo, what are you
Right.
doing, mate?
Okay, so Mel says that we observe things on a lateral plane, and that's how it's observed. So the observer
Mhm.
is now the thing that dictates the measurement. Okay, excellent. So I meant to go with something that is seen with your eyes that I can't verify, and my example was something that we can see and can't control. See the difference?
Mm-hmm. But what we're looking for, or Merle and I,
So to recap, Chemo, just before you cut me off, the definitive proof of the flat Earth is that Merle thinks it looks flat.
well, that's what we observe.
And then he blanket statements everybody else in the world and says, we all see it that way. And that's the most definitive proof he has for a flat Earth.
It's a horizontal, lateral plane. Prove me wrong.
Hang on. What do you mean
That's
lateral?
what it is.
Do you know what lateral means?
Just let him go.
Yes,
let
I
him
do.
go. I don't need any any assistance here.
So how does it not present as that?
Again, Mel, those
Okay, let's go to
observations
curvature.
are
So what's causing the curvature? Let's see what you've got. Come on.
causing
What's causing
the
the curvature? Yeah.
Gravity.
The
That-
physical
and that's
shape
making
of the
land
planet.
and the water bend.
The physical shape of the planet is first. The water is a secondary option.
Okay.
Because
Okay,
the Earth
so-
would still
so
exist
build
without
build
water
from
on
the
it.
core. You know what Earth is, so build it from the core. Go.
Build the Earth from the core.
Right.
The Earth is suffering from
Build
a
the
downward,
Earth from the core.
a
Go.
downward
You know what the
force,
Earth is, so build the Earth
a
from
downward
the core.
force
Anyone
perpendicular
who wanted to build a
pull
house
of the
would
center
build
of
it from the
mass.
ground up. So you build it from the core.
You don't make the
Go.
rules.
Build it from
I
the
didn't-
core, Reese. You know what the Earth is. Build it from the core to the surface. All the exact dimensions, heat, properties of every component of this Earth sphere, you know, inside out, so well. You
the same thing,
little
'cause none of that matters.
monkey. Go.
Right. So the ad homs have to come in because you can't even fathom. Do you
Where
know
would
what
you begin?
fathom means? You
Where
can't
would you
even
begin?
fathom.
Okay,
How
so can I
it
just
plays
quickly
out
say
in
this
the
is why
You can't
Lemon
even-
was say, this is what Lemon's position was earlier on. What Merle is finding now. Now I'm not going to say that you're lying, sheeple, but you're being dishonest.
Kim, I'll fucking go you one-on-one in a minute,
No,
but
but
you
I'm
don't
saying
answer
that,
direct questions. from
Lemon
your
is saying that
honest
you're too
fucking
blue
space.
pilled. You're too blue pilled to have these conversations. That's why
Kimo.
they're saying you're making it very
That's
difficult
just,
for.
you're just ridiculous. You're just ridiculous. All that is, Chemo, and Lemon needs to bite down on this truth as well, is that Lemon as well cannot possibly answer the first premise I put to Merle. And that's why no flat earther in the last 2 years, 3 years has ever dared to even look at the data that is verifiable from the observation in each fucking country. And you
I'm
call it
just
country,
saying.
hemisphere, doesn't matter. The location of the observer for a sunrise and sunset is well known. So much so that I can map and know the sunrise for the next year.
Look, so we've
Now,
just seen
there is
two
no
flat
reason.
earthers.
Shut up. There is no reason why you cannot take that.
Right, let me respond a little bit. I
the
won't take
whole
long.
sun's path
Won't
back to
take
me
long.
for one day.
Just saying that we've
So
had two
shut up and answer that, or fuck off.
got two flat earthers, and they feel that you're too blue pilled.
Yeah, two flat earthers that are unqualified to talk about anything they utter.
Oh no, these are
Kimo,
well-seasoned flat
To
earthers.
refute
That they
at any
know
level,
when
to
someone
refute
is
at any
too blue-
level what they discuss.
You just don't let me talk.
Hold on, Kimo.
Angela.
Kimo, since you stepped up, I
just
think
can't speak.
you then posit that it's fair for everyone else to take part of this conversation as well. So, in my opinion, going to you're just too blue-pilled or red-pilled or whatever. You're too brainwashed. That's an excuse that people might conveniently use when they are in a corner.
Nuh-uh.
So, of course, for example, if I'm debating you, it would be quite easy for me to say, well, yeah, you're a flat earther, so you're just brainwashed. Well, that's not conducive to any recent honorable discussion.
Well, the difference, with me.
It's way too easy to use it as a cheap ass excuse when you're in a corner and you don't have anything. Just call the other person brainwashed, and that's it. You won the conversation. Congratulations.
Well, look, this is the deal. This is what's going on. Whereas the flat earthers that talk to you guys are looking for you guys to work with them on their ideas.
You're not addressing my point, Kimo. So I need you to talk about whether that can be, whether your rhetorics of you're too blue-pilled or red-pilled can actually be used as a deflection.
I'm almost finished. So,
yeah, but you're not addressing my point at all, so we're not having a discussion. And if you're not having a discussion, there's no reason why I should give you the floor.
Whereas I, on the other hand, I work with you guys on your ideas where if we think...
No, you don't. Shut up. You're wasting everyone's time on your fucking rants and bullshit. Shut up and address the questions and the point Laurie just made, or fucking shut up for good.
Goodness sake. Go on there, Mel. I think they want an answer.
Fuck's sake. You want to just skip past the first point of the sunrise because you know that you've got the data for every location of every sunrise and every sunset. You don't want to go near it because you know it makes you have to provide a model because everywhere can see the sun. And when you can't do that and you realize that the earth isn't flat, internally you go, fuck.
Are you
and then
finished?
you run away like Merle does.
Are you finished? No one's running away.
Well, then address the point.
Now you've laid out two things. You're saying that the movement of the sun and sunrise and sunset forces flat Earth to produce a model. Now, if you can't see that that is a very strange request, can we at least address that first?
Okay, well, here's a point. Here's a point. Everybody has to wait for the sun to rise. And everybody sees the sun at different angles throughout the day. Which means that the sun and its path that is seen through the sky is not controlled by any observer. You've got to try and work out why it's seen at the angles it does, and why when put all those angles together, it's a spherical one rotation a day phenomena.
So is it allowed to say that the sun revolves around the earth? Is that allowed?
It doesn't matter. It's your job to take away the shape of the earth that is a globe at the size we say it is, and put a flat plane of any size and dimension.
Is it not an explanation?
Make it work. Make it work. That's your job.
Explanation?
Whatever you do to make it work, I'll scrutinize that explanation. Don't fucking ask for my help. It's your fucking understanding. It's a challenge to you.
I'm not asking for your help. I'm looking.
Don't ask me how it works.
Clarity on the terms.
Don't ask me how it works. Show me how it works.
I'm not asking you how it works. I'm saying, is it an explanation that you'd accept?
Make it work.
It already works.
That's a claim. Show me how that claim works.
Well, there's two. Let's agree to disagree on one thing. We are both standing upon something called the Earth, regardless of what shape it is. And we can both make observations of this thing we call the sun. Now, exactly what the sun is and what it's doing, why it travels at the speed it does, why it works in a predictable fashion. It never goes out of time. It's always there. It's always somewhere on the Earth, right? We can establish that, which sort of flies in the face of people saying it's a simulation and things like that. We can observe the reality we're in, and we can make predictions with it, right?
Right.
So where we arrive is the sun, the heliocent. It's not you either. Mainstream science has its claims about what the sun is and the distance of it.
Logically, yes.
And then with the inverse square law, we have the distance the light is traveling to the human eyeball, and the heat we experience and all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think the real issue and disagreement in globe and flat earth is that we have a horizon, and when we bring in like filters in cameras, it takes away the glare. And the globe earth argument is there is no change in the size of the sun, and that flies in the face of perspective, right? So it's not necessarily getting smaller.
And say that there's no atmosphere.
No, I'm not strawmanning anybody.
Please don't get involved. Please don't get involved. This is a one-on-one.
I'm bringing the globe arguments into the light of day.
Is that what you think
try
you're
to
doing?
wrap it up though. Bring it home. Nail it down. Something. This can't go on all night.
Okay, that's fine. I'm just trying to get him to see that because
You're
the
just
claim's
trying to
been
avoid everything, Merle.
No, the claim's been
Well,
made.
hold on,
before
Merle. It
that
looks
says-
like
you're gonna
Curve has
steal
got
on this.
something to say and bring to the table. So let's pause a moment, Merle, and let's see what Curve has got for us today.
Curve's moderating because you're useless. How about that?
Moderating what? You're having a discussion. It's not a
Two
debate.
Rizzlers over your one half a fucking piece of shit.
Well, it's not a 1v1, is it?
Rizzler for mod, by the way. Vote for Rizzler.
So
Yeah,
come on then,
already got
Curve.
it.
You've
9 to 1.
interrupted Merle
9
to bring
to 1,
something
Rizzler. That's
fantastic
a
to the
fucking
table. Let's listen to
definitive
that.
9 to 1 mod.
And
So we're just waiting for Curve to stop the conversation to bring
exactly.
something to the table.
No, what he was doing is trying to bring Merle into some type of semblance.
Chemo, put away your microboner for me, okay?
Yeah, as we await, let's wait for your
stepped in.
topic for the day.
Kimo,
I'm telling him that the one-on-one part isn't going to last forever.
It's not a
Hey, just
one-on-one.
trying to
They know
speak.
this. They're not in
Tell
a
them-
one-on-one room. They're
Well,
fully
it has
aware.
been. Chemo, you're not even paying attention. Just go back to fucking sleep.
Kimo, I have a suggestion. You're actually detracting from the conversation, piping out just to attack another mod. How about you shut the hell up and let?
Okay, Laura.
All right, so Sheeple, do you have something left to try to pound this down with? Wrap it up.
Yeah, I wanted to use a southern location observation. Okay.
Well, how about you bring it into a closing statement, and I will as well.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Right. You've lived your whole life, majority in Australia, and I've lived most of my life here, majority in New Zealand. You and I are but well below the equator. No chance at all of seeing the northern skies. Why can we not see the star that's directly above the center of a flat Earth concept if we're on the edge looking out?
Is that your closing statement to ask me a question?
I can leave it there. I can leave it there.
Okay. If you wanna leave it with a question, that's fine. And I won't take.
It's more of a everything. Anybody can answer that question.
I think it's a good question to ponder. I think what every rational, critical thinking person should do from here, anybody involved in this discussion or coming into it new, is if you're going to make claims, you better make sure you can back it up with something practical, something you can demonstrate, something you can test, something you can repeat yourself. To claim that there's these great minds that are well above our pay grade, that human understanding can only be discovered in educational institutions and the higher ranks of the top levels of the elite and the military and the scientific departments, you're deluded. What you need to come back to is your own faculties, your own common sense, your own senses, your own rationality, your own logic. If you begin that process, you'll be able to break anything apart because you become the scientist, you become the authority, and you free yourself from the chains of the cult you find yourself in, which is heliocentrism.
Right. So everything you just said actually denied everything I did in that debate. I don't know if you could see that, Mel. But that's exactly what you just
Was
did.
that addressed to sheeple or to everyone, Merle?
Since I guess we're at the end of
Hold
the
on,
debate.
Laurie. Hold on, Laurie.
Okay, sure.
I just actually think that it's important that I read this that I wrote, coming from something that I once looked into, gave it a shot, and then realized that I wasn't being lied to. That only I was around people that continued just to lie to themselves.
How long's this
So here it
one-on-one
goes.
on for, sheep?
Those are my last words, Kimo. And then
I'm
you
not
can speak for the
bothered.
next 10
It's just
fucking
that,
hours.
people are complaining that you.
Right. I'm going to read this, and then we'll go. Done. Thanks for the debate, Mel. Flat Earth.
Who won, by the way?
Flat Earth cannot and will not answer the basic questions. While its members seek to debunk the globe model without the need to ever formally challenge science. The door is open to the refutation welcomed by science around the world. The Flat Earth is fantasy. It exists in the minds of those unwilling to admit they do hold the knowledge. No person in Flat Earth wants to address the tough questions, and in that they will run back to where people agree and cheer them on. It is a theory that was put to the test and found wanting. It had its time in the sun and now must be left to rest in the failed theories list. In life, it is easier to blame others or look for a reason why you didn't achieve this or that. It is much harder to admit you don't know and or did not make the effort needed. Thank you.
Oh, come on. You know that's not true now. Numbers that are growing significantly can demonstrate that.
A valiant effort, sheeple. Unfortunately, like many other good arguments, it will fall.
You're very
on
low,
deaf
Redux. Is that
ears.
Redux? Very low.
Sorry about that.
Up,
How about
up,
this?
up the mic. So yeah, I mean, once again, it's all poetry. As Max Planck told us, without the experiments, it's nothing but poetry. It's all in the mind. Lemon, Taylor, and then Merle, and Sheeple. It's just a conversation, really. No one has anything practical to show. No one has anything experimental to show. And that's pretty much where we are. You guys have been duped.
I don't know. When I started talking about practical experiments, Merle was just shouting at me how I was a liar. So,
I mean, again, I would more say difficult, which in turn is slightly dishonest. Know his position, and again, you're working.
no. This was
against-
earlier when you were eating breakfast and pretending you couldn't mod, but you had time to type.
I know, yeah, but I had. What about me? But point is, you guys are way too blue-pilled, which is why I keep on reminding you it's about therapy. Nothing to do with evidence.
Yeah, and so the lesson we learned is to be more red pill. We should just shout over people. We should call them all liars.
No,
and then we're gonna get oh yeah. And when Lemon shows up, we should just accept everything he says. Then we'll all be red pilled.
Well, the other Taylor, it's been nearly 6 years for me. I've heard the excuses. I've heard the explanations. I've got the T-shirt.
Whoa! Stop right there! I didn't know you had the T-shirt. Fuck! It's a flat Earth.
I've got the
God
T-shirt.
damn! I didn't know it was so easy to get red pilled.
No, it basically just means that like the glob head failed.
Yeah, because we should have had T-shirts. I can't believe we didn't fucking think of it. If only we had T-shirts, we could have put like a cool logo on them with like a planet on it, maybe like some letters.
Like curving,
curving, something like oh man,
curving
missed opportunity,
curving trajectories of rockets, end you for good.
Can you recommend like a few chords I could use to like start the globe jingle? Because like if we had a jingle, fucking then
Again,
definitely.
Taylor, there you go with the dishonesty, the difficulty.
No, I'm not being
the
dishonest. I'm just
mockery.
being an asshole right now because Merle's argument is complete trash.
So what's the trajectory of a rocket?
That's a nonsense question.
You sure?
Which
I don't know
rocket?
these
What's the launch? What's like it's there's so much more there that
So
you
how does
didn't
an
ask
arc-
in your question.
How does an arc go vertical? Oh wait.
Didn't people just told you
Again,
can't
that's a
answer
nonsense
simple stuff?
question.
Rockets
So
do
where
not
are you
go
going
vertical.
when you arc? Where are you going when
Merle,
you arc?
rockets do not go vertical.
I wasn't talking to you, mate.
Oh, too bad. I can count rockets in my name, so I can fucking comment on this if I want.
Yeah, I mean, this
exactly.
is a super open forum where obviously anyone from anywhere
Yeah, I
around the
don't
world,
mind.
and obviously
I don't mind. I just
I know,
I want an answer to the question.
It's a nonsense question.
You can
It
say that,
shows
but try to answer
the
it, maybe.
fundamentals of your question. Clearly, you do not understand.
Maybe just try to answer it. You fucking weak piece of shit.
When does red become a tree? Like it's a nonsense
You
question.
can't answer it. You can't answer it. Or you don't
Because
want
it's a nonsense question.
So you don't want to answer it, or you're just gonna be a weak piece of shit, or what?
It doesn't make the question doesn't make sense, Merle.
Oh, okay. So thanks for
So
making sense
basically-
for everybody.
Basically, Merle, exactly what you did to Sheeples, right?
he once again
Didn't answer his
Taylor,
question.
more difficulty, more dishonesty.
Okay, chemo. When do the apples chimpanzee?
But I'm saying you know what Mel's on
Well,
about.
oh, you're not going to answer the question? Are you a
Instead of
coward?
working with
Oh,
Mel,
you're
you
just
work
blue pilled. That's why you won't answer the
No,
question.
instead
When
of-
do the apples chimpanzee? Chemo,
No,
it's an easy
instead of-
question.
So I would work with you on that question. I'd be like, okay, so apples, chimpanzees, you must be.
Yeah,
thinking-
when do the apples chimpanzee? Stop pussyfooting around. Give me an answer.
I would have to work with you. Not
Yeah.
against you.
Tell me an answer to the question.
Oh, there are no chimpanzees. There are no apples. Did you measure it? What size? What color?
That's not what the question is. I said when do the apples chimpanzee?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm about to answer.
Yeah, and I want an answer to the question, you coward. Why are you such a coward? Why won't you answer my question?
with you, not against you.
So powerful.
No, chemo. It sounds like you're evading the question. You're evading the question because you're a coward.
I'm trying to
Globe
understand
logic,
your
so
position.
powerful.
Go ahead.
The point is,
scared to
chemo. The
answer
point is,
a
chemo.
basic-
If the question is nonsense, you can't give an answer to it because it's a nonsense question.
Okay, so what happens to a rocket? Let's start again. Let's start from the ground up. So there's a rocket.
What rocket?
It
What are we
launches.
doing with it? What
happens?
kind of rocket are we
Anyone
talking
you
about?
like. Anyone you like.
Okay, well, I made some rockets when I was younger.
ball
They'd go up
rocket.
about 200 feet. They'd pop a parachute and they'd come back down. That's what they would do.
Slow down.
Oh, sorry. Am I talking
So-
too fast for you?
So we're
I
about to launch.
was a
So
child.
we're about to launch.
Okay.
Go from launch.
Okay. Go
So
from
what-
launch.
What happens?
Okay. At launch, I pressed the button that closed the circuit so that the wires in the solid fuel would get hot. They would ignite the solid fuel booster. At that point, the rocket would begin moving upward, go about
In
100
its-
feet, and the
in
pressure
its
buildup
what?
in the tube would blow the
In its
cap
what?
off the rocket.
Hang on.
The parachute would
In its-
deploy,
in
and the
its
rocket
what?
would come back down.
No, once it launches, what does the rocket go into?
What do you mean into?
It goes into its trajectory.
Force you to say things.
Okay.
Okay? Right. So keep going.
That's it. I explained the whole thing.
Right. So once the rocket goes into its trajectory, it starts vertical, does it not? Or is it angled?
The trajectory is from the start. Mo.
I said
The moment it launches its trajectory. What are
Right.
you talking about?
Okay. So it goes vertical and then it starts to arc, right?
That's right. Gravity.
No, the rocket that I'm
No.
talking about didn't have any form of steering.
No. No.
Any
So
deflection, largely based on the
so
wind.
why does it arc?
Those rockets didn't arc.
Why does the
You said I could choose
rocket
any rocket I wanted, and I'm talking about rocket that
trajectory
did not arc.
Because it's the least.
I wasn't
It's
talking
path
to
of
you,
least
Reese.
resistance.
I've already spoken to you. We've had our
Yeah.
exchange.
Yeah. It wasn't
Okay.
as easy as you thought, was it?
Again, Merle, the
Reese.
rockets I'm talking about didn't
Right.
arc.
You talked a big game.
I'm talking to somebody more intelligent than you now, mate. So just be quiet.
No, I agree with that. He's fucking leagues ahead of me. He's a fucking engineer.
Okay, so just shush then. So I want to know about this trajectory and how it's arcing and why it's arcing
Okay, I'm
and
gonna
why
say
it's
this
not
real
going into
slow
outer
for you,
space.
Merle, so that you can hear me. The rockets that I am talking about did not arc.
What did it do?
They traveled up until the parachute deployed, and then they'd kind of get carried around by the wind, but they would come pretty nearly straight down.
Okay, so you didn't go into outer space with that one.
No, you said I could choose any rocket I wanted to talk about.
It's fine. I can see the little game you're playing. It's funny.
Your words were talk about any rocket you want to, so I talked about a rocket that I wanted to.
How honest would you say you are out of 10?
I told you it was a lie. Not a single thing.
So how honest would you say your general...
100% I've been honest with you.
So you don't lie?
I haven't lied to you.
Okay, can we talk about a rocket that supposedly goes into outer space then?
What rocket do you want to talk about?
Are you gonna
The outer space rocket.
The outer space rocket. There have been quite a few of them. Which one do you want to talk about?
Whichever one again. Let's talk about one that goes to outer space.
From which launch area?
Tom, shut up. I'm not talking to you.
I mean, God, fuck. I didn't come with like a book full of rockets. Let's talk about the Saturn V.
I'll look at it for you.
Tom, you're not adding anything. Do you know about rockets, Tom? Do you want to speak
No,
for
but
the other Taylor?
internet, and I knew that he doesn't have all the information with him. So
Do you want to talk about how rockets go into outer space, Tom?
no, I don't care about how rockets go in outer space.
Can you be quiet then? Because I'm in the middle of something and you're not adding anything to it. You're just talking like in the background and it's distracting.
Oh, okay. I just won't do like anything like you guys do.
So you can just be quiet, just for a little
I'll
bit.
try. I got it.
Okay. Can you maybe mute?
I'm an adult.
Okay, so you're just going to be an asshole.
I haven't said any bad names.
Okay, nice work, Tom.
You know a mod, Merlin.
I just wanted to hear about how rockets go into outer space.
Just because Fazza's fucking to tell you that you can do whatever the fuck you like right now doesn't mean you should.
Well, you know, it was just...
Yeah, we know.
It was just one of those things, like, there's two rocket experts in here, and they've gone real quiet. They've gone real quiet. Fancy that.
What do you want to know,
busy
Merle?
arguing with
Partly because I don't want to wake up my wife. So, what do you want to know, Merle?
I just want to know how rockets go into outer space.
I'll give you an analogy. It's when you're driving along a car and you're going to merge onto the highway. Do you go straight at the highway and then execute a 90-degree turn at the last second? Or do you board the on-ramp, which makes a nice smooth curve, and then eventually you start entering the flow of the traffic? Which one is it?
Well, if I was going to make a ham, cheese, and tomato sandwich, I'd just say get some bread, get some tomatoes, get some ham and cheese. So you're not talking about rockets.
Asked you a question.
So hurry up.
About ham and cheese sandwiches.
So
You're a
talk
dickhead,
about the
Merle.
rocket and how it goes into outer space.
Rizla, was my analogy not accurate enough?
He's perfect. Yeah,
Just checking. I've been drinking, so it could be off.
He's an expert.
No, I was dead on.
And then he starts going on about fucking cheese and ham sandwiches. It's because he's been told he can be a dickhead.
So talk about
he's
the
being
rocket
a
then.
dickhead.
I did, Merle. I gave you an analogy. That's
You
how
don't
the
need to
rocket
give me an
trajectory works.
analogy. Talk about the rocket and how it does it.
It's exactly the same thing as what I just described.
In your mind.
No, Merle.
I'm no wiser for it.
We all
I don't
know
know
that.
anything more about
We
rockets.
know that. That's fine. You don't. Thank you for
Right, so
admitting that.
maybe offer
Okay.
some of the rocket stuff then.
No, well, I got a question, Merle. What was his analogy again? Can you repeat back to us what his analogy was?
He's talking about the road.
Yeah,
and
what about the
90-degree
road?
angles?
What about the 90-degree angles? Why was it important to talk about the 90-degree angles?
I don't know. You tell me.
Okay, so you really weren't listening. He explained it to you, but you weren't listening. So saying that you got no wiser from it is because you just fucking closed your ears, man.
He's not talking about rockets. I just want to hear about the rockets.
Yes, he's making an analogy for something in your life that you maybe have done so that it helps you understand. That's how analogies work. I don't know why I have to explain to you why analogies exist.
I know what a rocket is. I know what the claim is. So I want backing.
You clearly don't understand anything about rockets. You barely understand how cars on the road work.
What are they made of?
Mostly
Fuck a lot of
structural.
things.
Mostly
What part do
structural
you wanna know?
aluminum. Same as aircraft grade aluminum.
What year? What was?
Fuel tanks are made of stronger material because they have to withstand higher pressure. Of course, the nozzle is not pure aluminum. What else do you have, Merle?
I don't think you guys are rocket scientists.
Don't care what you think, Merle.
What was
You
the
haven't
analogy
addressed-
again?
You asked a question, and I put it out there, and I addressed that. But you are too much of a coward to actually address the points yourself. So you have to deflect, and you have to start belittling? I can't even talk right now. Insulting people because you can't answer the questions that are posed to you. And you think you can actually debate this?
How am I insulting you by questioning what your actual real employment is?
And he's debunking the whole globe Earth, anyways.
Whammer, shut up.
It's just
Well,
true. The globe Earth is a fraud.
You asked a question, and I gave you an answer. But
You're
you
tired
instead
of the frauds,
addressing
Bunny.
the answer, you wish to act like a fucking wuss and not even address it.
So because you have a cartoon icon of a rocket and you're called rocket scientist, does that make you one?
No, it's the fact that I can discuss these topics and present them. And if people think that I'm not, they'll call bullshit on me. But that's yet to happen, except you. And I don't give a fuck what you think.
I call bullshit.
I don't give a fuck what you think either, Whammer.
What was the car analogy? I missed
I
it.
call bullshit.
I've called it.
Bullshit,
I don't
dude.
Oh, of course,
know.
Rocky speaks up. Rocky, go eat some chicken, okay?
Yeah, that's just like you to assume that I eat chicken a lot. Because I ate chicken nuggets one day.
You actually say you like chicken, so that's out of your own mouth.
I love chicken nuggets, but that was the
There you
last
go.
time I had chicken nuggets.
Merle,
I
what have you
didn't say I
got? You
like
asked for an
chicken
explanation,
nuggets.
I gave you one.
love chicken nuggets.
What was the car
Unless
analogy?
you want to get into the rocket equation and actually design the trajectory to get into low Earth orbit for you. And there's no fucking way your mental midget capacity will even understand that.
Why do you keep attacking
So are
Merle?
you in?
It's all because I answered
You've
his
been
question and then he
insulting him the
decided to
entire
insult me.
time.
So I'm gonna respond in kind, like you fucktard. Like what the hell are you interjecting for? This didn't involve you.
Oh, it does involve him.
He wanted to white knight.
No,
He's doing
we
a piss
agreed
poor
that
job
we
of it,
call
too.
bullshit on you.
Why are you
care.
assaulting
Yeah,
Merle
we're
all the time?
Calling bullshit.
Because Merle
white
is a
knighting.
mental fucking midget. That's why.
That's just negative.
Just like
dude.
you, Whammer. You're no better.
No, but you're just negative, man.
That's fine. I can be an asshole. I admit that. So what's the
Yeah,
point?
it's not conductive.
Who cares?
I was having a
Why don't you
productive
just
conversation. You
learn
decided
to
to be a
be like
dickhead, so now I'm
Dr.
responding
Winder?
in kind.
We're only joking.
There you go.
Admitted you were drunk. You
Learn
left
all
your
Wander's
wife,
arguments. I said I've had a
someone
few drinks,
asked
Rocky.
you.
You're misinterpreting my words
man.
again, you little fucktard.
You said you Get the couldn't even fuck talk outta 'cause you've here been with drinking. that. Oh, come on. You gotta be kidding me. I'm whiner. Yeah, you're calling other people negative. You retarded little fucking twat.
Hey, Curved, you got issues too, my man.
Go wipe your badge, winner.
You do, bro.
What was the car analogy to the rocket trajectory? When you're
going on the
moving
highway,
traffic, you
which
don't
is 90
drive
degrees to your
directly
path.
at the highway
Yeah.
and then take a 90-degree turn. You accelerate on a curving on ramp to get to speed and then merge in with the traffic.
Three dudes in the chat, dude.
So when you're merging into traffic, you go make a ham, cheese, and tomato sandwich, apparently.
Dude, there's no spinning ball, man.
That's
Nice
moral
derailing
deflection.
tactics, curved, but it won't wash.
That's what Merle said.
Derailing the
That's
damn
what
thing.
Merle
you
fucking
cunt.
said.
He just
Shut your sad fucking trap, bitch.
It won't
Way to add
wash.
to the conversation.
We've got a rocket scientist
True
here,
mod.
without any rockets. So we
What a
need
dickhead.
evidence that obviously rockets.
This is the best you guys have, right? So, you're not this, you don't do this.
No,
You
no,
can't,
I understand
you
you are a
can't
rocket
address
scientist.
my
Just call
points.
somebody a mental
I
so
believe
then
you.
you have
Is that
to
the
do that.
best you have?
But you won't validate these rockets in a way that satisfies most people.
You know what? The people
Let's not
whose
conflate this
opinion I
group with most
respect,
people.
Validated,
they're
dude.
totally fine with everything that I said. These fucking mental midgets that come in here like Merle and Rakia, I don't fucking care what they think.
That's unfortunate.
Then why are you wasting your
Whammer.
time talking to us? Isn't your wife right there?
Because I like listening to you
You're not
fucktards
listening.
talk out of your
You're
blowhole.
engaging. You're not listening.
Now he relies
Are you
on
a
us
mental
for
midget?
entertainment.
You don't know the difference
Sometimes I
between listening
engage,
and
sometimes I
engaging?
listen.
Yeah, but you
Well,
just
You've
said
got
something
a
bad about
you've
us.
got
We're
a
so
cartoon rocket
beneath you.
icon.
You shouldn't even be talking to us.
Those money.
Put
at this
your drunk
point.
ass on mute.
In real life, you would never get the time of day from me, so don't worry
Why
about
you
it.
got to
okay?
drink? You're so miserable.
It's Saturday night. I'm drinking.
I'm
That's the best you have, Rocky? You can't address
Saturday
my points.
night
That you have to
on
address that.
Discord talking to mental midgets. Your life is grand.
Hey, we're not all.
Why are flat earthers talking to Clovis though? Like, doesn't it go the other way around? Why are
This
you
is
talking
the
to us?
issue, though. We're not on a spinning ball planet, my man.
Alright, we explained the sunset thing I brought up to Merle then, if you were listening.
No, but that's the issue here.
Because Merle doesn't want Merle doesn't want to address what Rocket said about the rocket trajectory. You don't want to do it. So
Do you
let's
see
go back
that-
to something basic.
See the meme that Merle posted about rocket science is a miserable, arrogant cunt, alcoholic, and a boring faggot. Wow.
What?
Brilliant.
My satellite.
He was just
That's all you got
posting
left.
that until you.
That's all you got left.
You read it out. You should have ignored it.
Merle,
So
You got to get over the anger.
I've been
my man.
called worse
Yeah,
by
My
better than you.
satellites.
And since you're
My
so low,
satellites.
it's easy to be better than you.
Oh, you're
Why,
so
though?
superior. You're so
That's funny.
superior, though.
Merle,
Oh, now,
why can't
now
you
you're gonna
address
try
what
to
was
like
said?
take a high ground after that meme, Merle. Good job. Good
Well,
fucking job.
At least I know the difference between an arc
Yeah, but
and
you don't
Noah's
understand.
Ark.
You don't understand why the rocket does
You
what
sure?
it does.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty damn sure you went to a ham and
Yeah,
cheese
or
sandwich.
you wouldn't ask the goddamn question.
No, I gave you an example of when you're talking about a ham, cheese, and tomato sandwich, you talk about the ingredients, how it works. You didn't.
And that's what he was getting at. The path
No,
of the
no,
rocket and the movement of the car was to denote why
The word is trajectory, as Merle used. Trajectory.
trajectory.
Right. And
Do you want to know the
arcs don't go
trajectory
into
or how
outer
the rocket
space.
physically propels itself? Because those are two different questions.
The
No,
arc
no.
doesn't go
Not
into outer
physically
space.
propels itself. He's saying that because the rocket arcs, it shouldn't have to arc. Not understanding.
Is that what you're saying, Merle?
It's a fact.
That the rocket shouldn't have to arc?
The rocket arcs, so it doesn't go to outer space. What the question is, where does it go?
Well, we
Do you think that the rocket should just go straight up? Just keep going straight up?
Well, isn't that
perfectly
where
straight
outer
line?
space is?
Is
Isn't
that
that
Because
where
no
outer
one's
space
been
is?
to outer space. There's only been
like
a
Where's
couple
outer
of
space?
orbits.
Well, I mean, it
Where's outer
depends.
space?
Do you want the rocket to stay in orbit around Earth? In which case,
Oh, Earth orbit.
yeah, do you want it in an Earth orbit, or do you want it to go just flying away from the Earth forever?
Been to outer space.
Or rather going up until you run out of fuel and then coming back
You
down?
can't even define the line where outer space begins.
Karma
Or-
line, 100 kilometers. Next.
You ever look at a Fibonacci spiral?
So you're going into.
You notice how, due to the
You're
curvature,
going into terminal
it crashes
velocity.
back into the center where it came from because
guys-
it's curving.
It's
Or
like
it should
comic-
go straight away
it's like
from the
comic
center,
book.
or
it's
else it will
comic-
crash back into the
Well, I
center.
mean,
right,
the
Merle?
rocket.
cartoon diagrams
Well, I
and
mean,
this shit
well,
too.
Merle. I mean, specify what you want the rocket to do. If you want it to go into an orbit, then clearly it needs to be having some kind of sideways motion. So it's
can't
going to obviously
communicate
arc.
with this shit.
If you want it to just fly straight away from the Earth forever, then yeah, sure, don't arc it. But
Yeah, we
you're
want it
just
to go
gonna end-
out from the Earth as much as possible, take a snapshot of the globe, and let it fall back down to Earth, and just like parachute. And
Okay, we don't care what percent
Percent, your mic is really low. Louder. Up it.
Well,
all
that's what
spa-
percent wants. I want to hear what
Yeah.
Merle wants. So where do you want the rocket to go?
Well, see, I'm not the only one who wants to see if the comic book's real or not. So percent, enjoy it, because they're fucking dumb.
I think with the question though, Emerald, like the problem is even if you wanted to escape orbit, you're still not going to want to go straight up.
Okay.
Why?
No space
It's
mission goes directly
very-
into space. You always have to do a
it's
parking
No,
orbit,
don't you understand
and then you
Newton's
go further.
deeply energy
laws of
inefficient way of
motion?
traveling.
An object
You guys don't like to read anything,
in motion will remain in motion. So if you fire it straight up into space, it will remain.
That you're
Why don't you
skipping part of
finish?
the rule.
Why don't you finish that rule, Kima? Read it all.
What?
Unless what?
Unless what? A force.
Finish the you were
Ah,
There's a second part of
the
the
law. Yeah, the second part of the law. Yeah.
Yeah, so you don't use Newton's laws. An object in motion, yes, will
Yeah.
continue in motion.
Yeah.
Unless.
Well, yeah, unless there's a force, but there's what force are you
Equal
talking about?
Right there. Don't try to skip past that. You're trying to skip past that.
What's he trying to skip past? The
Just trying
imaginary
to act
force.
upon by a force.
Is he
No, but
trying to skip
Newton's
past the
law,
imaginary
Mel,
force?
they're saying you can't fire it straight up, but of course
That
you
was
can.
epic,
Because
Kima. That
I
was
mean,
a
sure, you can try to
motion.
fire it straight up. I can take a baseball and throw it straight up, but that's not going to
Rocket.
stop it from coming right
because you
back
don't
down.
have enough power.
Okay,
Rocket,
so I mean, I can throw it harder and harder. I mean, the same thing happens to a rocket. It'll go far, but it'll eventually slow down and then fall back.
Not if you have enough
So why-
power.
Rocket. Give me the
bullets-
owl.
Okay.
Give me
So
the
how
owl.
much power do we need?
Why do
I'll
bullets,
give-
when you shoot them straight up, land near the person shooting them?
Why do they come back
Because
at all?
bullets aren't fast enough.
Why do they come back at all, Mel?
They run out of puff, Reese.
Run out of puff.
Mm.
And
And they fall back down.
What
what
makes it slow down?
Not that far from the shooter.
Crowd.
What makes it slow down?
I mean, if you
Gravity. If gravity doesn't exist, what slows it down?
You're all kinds of fucked and you don't even realize it.
Oh, so you don't
That's
want
not
to
an
answer
answer to the
Yeah, but
question. I don't
gravity's
think.
not a force.
Get
right?
up and looking in the mirror.
So
Well,
what
yeah,
force is
okay.
pulling it back down if gravity's not a force?
I'm not even
In
trying.
Newton's laws, in Newtonian mechanics, it is. So if you're going to use Newton's laws, you need to use Newton's gravity.
No,
Mill's
but it's not
example.
a force. So what force are you talking about?
In Newtonian mechanics, there is a gravity force.
These guys want their cake and to eat it too, man.
Actually, no. Kimo wants his cake because he touted Newton's first law, and then now he's backing out of it.
Yeah, you're
No,
using
those
Newtonian
laws are
mechanics to
nothing
state
to
the
do with
law, and then you're
gravity, right?
ignoring the fact that in Newtonian mechanics, gravity is a force.
Nothing to do with gravity. The laws of
But
motion.
it is. Okay,
Except
what's the force that what's the thing that acts upon the
So
rocket?
if a
then?
car is accelerating, does that have anything to do with gravity? No.
Well, there's gravity on the springs. That's why you bounce around corners. Yeah, inertia and shit like that. Good point. So you prove gravity there as well.
Yeah,
But going
nothing
back
to
to
do
the
with
Newton's
gravity.
law, don't move away from it, please. Please don't move away from it, because it's really dishonest of you to not go all the way to take the full L and then spray paint it gold. Carry on. Stay on that motion of the
going to
rocket.
a car, the effects of gravity are very
Just-
complicated and deeply ingrained in the operation of a car.
Just point out how you got.
Operators and
Just point out